going on,
Hey
people?
everyone, it is Scotch for Dummies.
Four times.
We made it.
4 times 25,000.
We
Before
made
we
it.
begin, congratulations.
Cheers, baby.
It's the celebration.
It's a celebration. I was having too much fun, Charlie Murphy.
Wow,
I wish
this
I had
is,
more thumbs.
I forgot this bottle, man. I cannot.
Right?
This is the one that started it all. This is the story.
It is. So we started with the Macallan. What is it?
9
6
years
months ago?
Yeah.
About 6
9
months
years.
ago.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
It was August of.
9
So
times.
for those that aren't aware, Scotch for Dummies YouTube channel just broke 100,000 subscribers.
Last night.
We'll
Woo!
be getting our silver play button probably
Any minute now.
Probably whenever.
Probably next year.
When YouTube goes, oh, you guys.
So it all started 9 years ago with our first review. Scotch for Dummies #1, Macallan 12.
Well, no.
No.
That
This
wasn't
is-
our
oh, no,
first
no.
review.
That was
our
when-
first bottle
this
that
is
we
what
had
got it
together.
started,
Yes,
sitting
that's
at
right.
your table, and I'm
Yep.
like, who wants some scotch? I'm like, I've never had scotch before. Boom, you pulled that out. And
Yep.
from then on, it was,
We got together every Thursday before we even had a camera.
that's right.
And
Yep.
tried new
That's right.
scotches, and here we are.
So that was like 9.5 or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's a long,
2015-ish.
long time.
Then our first review was a Talisker Distillers Edition. We were talking about it on the Patron show earlier, and it's we didn't know enough to realize that Distillers Editions were batched and they were different, and so
We didn't realize you shouldn't drink it on big ice balls and rocks glasses.
we
But
went
we
through
did.
But we
with
did.
Julie's,
And we
remember
loved
those
it.
Julie?
The
Yeah,
Jewel-
Yep.
Yeah, we tried it with water, we tried it with ice, we cool it down maybe a little, see if that makes a difference.
Ironically,
We were
our
still-
palates were still pretty good.
They are really close.
Um,
We've done lots of re-reviews,
and
And we
come out
compared, yeah.
pretty close.
and they came out pretty much the same.
So,
Yeah.
but those first couple of months, we put a camera in front of us. First couple, I remember us looking at the analytics and we're like, "Holy shit, 100 subscribers! There's 100 people watching us." Now, mind you, that's friends and family, but you were like,
no,
still,
no,
like,
they're not
"Oh my
actually
God,
watching."
There's 100 people, right? And then we hit 300, and I was just like mind blown.
I
like,
think we actually
oh
had
my
a
God.
celebration for 300
Yep,
or
We
something.
did.
We
Like,
did.
Yeah.
oh my God,
It was a big
300
deal.
people are watching this, and now here we are. Last night, we're all looking at our phones, going, "God, we need like 30 more."
Well, and I remember that during COVID, we were doing our lives remote. So all
Yep.
four of us were doing like a Zoom live, and I took a piece of paper and had when we hit our 10,000 subscribers during COVID.
I remember
so it was
that.
2,000. It would have been
10,000 in COVID?
Yeah,
That's 2 years ago.
yeah. No, it was
No,
4
4 years ago.
It was
God.
2020.
So you got
Well,
COVID
I lost.
brain,
I
so-
lost 2 years for COVID. So 4 years.
Yeah,
My
so
bad.
that was in what spring of 2020.
Yeah.
So before we go down memory lane, let's take a few minutes and acknowledge some of the wonderful people that got us here in the first place.
They're
So,
on.
They're
That's
on. Let's
for
talk
sure.
about Tom R.
He's been around the channel for a little while.
Can't wait for this show.
Yeah, he was
a couple
pretty
years.
early too.
Little Jeff Timmy action, of course. Keep going, guys.
I think it's Trooper.
Trooper, are you on land, my friend?
Hopefully.
It's a lot of
Hopefully.
bar
You can have
tabs.
a-
It is.
You can have a drink with us.
Loch Ness. Oh man,
Yes, sir. He's been around the channel. Me, my wife, and whiskey.
they're
New
newer,
locals.
but they're still good to have them there. George
George
Kaplan.
Kaplan. Boy, that
Everwin.
name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Some of these are OGers,
Was that
like
from a
9
movie?
years
The
ago.
Porters.
OGers.
I know. Oh, we got Brienne.
Man,
Nice.
I haven't seen her forever.
Well,
I
and Everwind,
know.
and we saw Steven and
Steven was a
Herman
patron that
saw
came.
in Texas.
Yeah. Joe.
Joe has come to
We
one
know
of
who
our events
KLG
here.
is. Even says Kim.
Kim, Justin,
Another local, Justin.
Hoagie's in.
Hoagie
Bear, holy
Oh!
Oh my gosh, man.
So Hoagie was one of the first interviews we did, I think.
Well, he's
Was
also
it?
one of the first international guys,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I was blown away that this guy would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch our show because he's in Berlin.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta love Hoagie. It's been
Good
a long
to
time.
see
Glad
you,
you got
my
on,
friend.
man.
Good to see you.
That's
on
awesome.
here,
Huge
man. Thanks for
Lagavulin fan.
Jason Whiskey Wise.
Oh,
Nice.
Good to see you.
Thank you, bud.
Cheers, man.
Good to see
Awesome.
you.
Jimmy Jam.
I hope you're doing well, Jason.
Man, look at all these people coming out. I haven't seen you guys in forever. This is awesome.
It is.
Jeff
That's
Timmy,
awesome.
yep. Oh, good. Thanks for that. Good,
Well,
good,
that
good.
didn't last long.
Jimmy Jazz. What's Tom R saying? Look at that monster bottle. Heck yeah, that monster bottle. That's your bottle, buddy. That's the one you sent us.
Yeah, that
Sean has kept it all these years.
Yep, it was in. So I was going through my bar because we used to do it at my bar.
Yeah,
and
that's
now
where it started.
Drew's got more time to mess with the studio if it's at his place, so that works out for me. But I wanted to bring some stuff down, so there's a few things that I brought from my bar just for this evening, but that big bottle's one of them. It was delicious.
Let's go
Oh,
back
Amy's
up
there,
a little
too.
bit. Yeah, so
Not
I
just
saw
Rebecca.
Lena's there, Malt Minion, Chuck.
Oh, yeah.
Lana, hey, I hope all's well down there.
I saw on
think
she marked
Facebook that she
herself
did
safe.
all right.
Yeah,
so.
good to see you. Thank you for joining tonight, but it's good to see you.
Martin.
Amy, oh my God, Amy used to lobby for us.
man.
Oh
she
my
did.
gosh, she would be on there, hit the like and subscribe button, you know?
Yeah,
and
she
she's like,
would. She would,
Oh
get
my
it. She
gosh.
would work it.
I hope you're
push it.
doing well, Amy. I think you are because I stay in touch with your husband a lot. But it's good to see you, though.
Look at all these people. Okay, what's Hoagie saying here?
We need the question that's been
Oh
baffling
my
us for
God.
years.
That is a.
I honestly,
I have an opinion.
I do too.
White Walker's worst.
Yes.
I think
Absolutely.
you're right. I hate
Because
to say this, I
Scotch
think you're
Blue
right.
is just neutral.
It is.
It's a neutral spirit.
So-
White Walker is arguably bad.
Yes.
It's thumbs down.
Scotch Blue. I got Scotch Blue when I was traveling for work in
The
Korea.
milk's gone bad.
And so it's Scotch whiskey that was formulated, or what the heck? It was formulated for the Korean market, which they drink lots of light beers and things like that. So that was one that.
I need a scotch.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for through all these bottles. Which one are we going to open?
Just a
Okay,
second.
just a second. And so, but White Walker is just
Arguably
It's,
bad.
it's horrible. It's
So,
you should clean
that's
your
good
It's a
question.
shameless money grab.
Oh, look, Ron Weasley's here.
Ron Weasley.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Oh no! Look at look at the story.
Yeah, well,
You were the first channel I watched when I started my whiskey journey about 6 or 7 years ago. Glad to see you get to 100K. Exactly. See,
that's
Ron?
right.
That's why
That's my favorite comment tonight.
you can
Hell
tell
no, we haven't.
we have the best people online.
My
here.
Ron's best friend.
Oh,
my
guys.
gosh.
Okay, so back to kind of this little bit of roots. Tonight's show. What are we going to do tonight's show? We got lots of stuff in store.
I'm walking down memory lane. I don't know what you
Memory
guys
Lane.
doing.
We got some giveaways to do
Yep.
for our patrons and for you guys. There's
Yep,
going to be some
subscribers.
opportunities there. We got some pretty. So along the way in memory lane, we've got some epic bottles tonight that we're going to open. So I hope you guys are with us for the journey. It's going to be at least a 2-hour show. We're going to have a great time, phenomenal time.
Start the engine, man.
Don't jinx it. Let's
You
just
know,
do it.
What they didn't get, what you guys didn't get. A lot of you know, if you've been watching our lives for a long time, we don't do as many as we used to. But Drew has always got this intro music, if you've seen it, and it's changed over the years. You had a couple different ones, but every one of them just pumped me. I mean,
It's a banger.
That would be
Yeah,
an
I just
interesting thing to
just
see.
like, oh man, for a minute and 30 seconds before we go live, I'm back here going, oh.
Do you have some of the original?
I
music
do.
that we
Oh
can
yeah,
roll?
actually, I used it on the end of our patron for our Andalusia bottle. I don't know if you guys noticed it when we were signing the bottle. It's the very original song we used because back then I used iTunes because
Right.
it was free and it was so easy
Yeah.
to use. I didn't know what I was doing, and it was one of the free songs that came
Right.
with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's called Eastbender Short. That's the name of the song.
A lot of YouTubers know that.
And I've seen this. I've heard this song
heard it
many
used a lot,
times on YouTube.
Right.
But yeah, that was our first song. I've migrated and done many different things, but we've kind of stuck down this Southern rock country theme in the last few years. And it just
Yeah.
stuck with us.
Yeah.
It works.
So
It's good
I
for
mean,
everybody.
honestly, if we're going to do the walk down memory lane, you can take the high level view and just look at the evolution of the channel, what we've done, where we, what we did when we started and what we're doing today, and the evolution of YouTube, the evolution and maturity of the whole space. You remember when we first started there was Scotch test dummies,
they were out there.
obviously Ralphie, but pretty much that was it.
It wasn't a lot.
And we dove in, and then a few others came along, and we had this thing called the Whiskey Fabric, where we
Yep.
I think for the most part, some of us channels have stayed in touch and are good friends. I'm Scott and Bart, obviously.
Yeah.
We know what's going on with them, but it's changed so much. I mean, go out on YouTube right now, and there's thousands of channels doing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody has a whiskey channel.
I don't know if we could start today from zero.
It would be tough. It would
Well,
be a lot harder.
I think we still have the advantage. There's 4 of us talking about whiskey, and
But it's
most of
hard
the
to-
channels are one guy.
It's
talking
kind
about
of
whiskey.
just hard to break through.
Yeah.
I think it was a little easier for us.
It was.
And honestly, when we did it, was kind of, we thought it was crowded then, like because there was still a lot of channels on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was like, how are you going to be found?
Right.
This seems pretty niche. You know,
And it
four,
is
four
niche.
guys in Indiana talking about Scotch. That seems interesting. Like,
For
what
about
do these
5
guys
minutes.
know?
Why would you do that?
They're mispronouncing everything.
We still do.
Oh
And
my
why are
gosh.
they putting water on
Some
that?
of those videos we did back then were so butchery. Oh my gosh. It's like going, if you want to have a good laugh, go back and look at some of the very
yeah.
first videos. It's sad.
Go to the
It's embarrassing.
Scott Freedom's YouTube channel, and then scroll to flip them from oldest to newest or newest to oldest.
It's horrific.
So do you guys have a favorite video? I've done a bunch.
Shit, I don't know if I need
I have one.
I actually have two.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, enlighten me.
So the Zebra Hunter video
Yes,
is
That's my-
arguably one of my favorites.
that is my favorite.
The other favorite that I love watching is the glassware episode that we did.
Oh my God, when you chug that whole.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was such
You're
a
like,
great
"This
video.
is the best one yet." We got
That
some in
was
comments
fun.
like, "Is that dude alive?"
Let me let you in on a secret. That
No,
was T.
Speaking of comments and doing this journey, I will tell you, it's got us all thick-skinned, that's for sure, because
Oh, yeah.
comments have been very entertaining. But speaking of your drinking that, it's been a rocky but fun road as well. I've seen some of those.
Much agreed. I would say we've done really well at not engaging and having the thin skin, not engaging in the negatives. But heck, for a long time, I tried to go out there and answer every comment, just
Although,
to let people
We
know
tried.
that we see them, we're watching.
I can remember when we first started getting some negative comments and being like, all right, who wants to tear this guy a new one?
We were a little more responsive than to those. But again, yeah.
But if you are commenting, just so you know, we may not respond, but we're seeing almost all comments. We try to. It's for us.
really
We
do.
try to.
And if there's value in the comment, if you're bringing education and value and input into to what we're trying to do, I at least try to give it a thumbs up or a heart or something, or make a comment back, just so people know.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. You're a part of the channel when you comment.
So so I'll go and I'll have to think some more, but that actually, Wheelhouse, that was one of my favorite videos to produce and direct with you, because the shit we came up with was unbelievable, and the Wheelhouse thing just stuck. I don't know why. But there's one other one. You guys probably don't know this one. It's been kind of a secret one of mine that it's only gone out. I think it was a patron only thing, but it was one that Mark did.
Oh.
And
Is it the-
no, that one's
Is it
no.
the King Alexander?
No, this one is a one that he did. I don't even know what we did it for, but you were getting attacked by a bee in your backyard.
You asked me to go out and do some shoot some video in the backyard.
Oh, that's right.
And you did such an amazing job. I was like, God, he did a great job of acting, and that was one of my favorite things. So guys,
stupid.
I am the guy that pretty much directs and tells these guys what to do, and
Somebody needs to.
and they just do it. And I love the fact that they do it. But some of the shit they come back with is so funny. The Mark Beam, and then Dr. Scotch. I mean, the creation of Dr. Scotch is something pretty funny.
Well, I mean, that's being a scientist. That's what I would enjoy. Go on these tours and you ask questions, and sometimes they answer it correctly, sometimes they don't. And well, they're young on their journey as well. They're not maybe a scientist or whatever. So the physics of the distillation process and the extraction process and the bottling and the shipping and all that kind of stuff is just what I like.
So that was kind of a cool little persona that
Yeah. When did we start that?
I don't even remember.
What's the origin
I
of that?
actually remember being at the whiskey event in New York with you and going up to the Glyph table. Do you remember talking to that
yes.
dude? And Andrew was asking, the company was supposedly designing, like, it was supposed to make old tasting whiskey from like neutral spirits, and like they were adding things in to make it like taste like that. It was like some Star Trek nonsense, right? And it didn't really work. But Andrew had a lot of extremely specific scientific questions that he was asking the young
that
dude at
maybe
the
I should-
table that just glazed over and looked scared.
Yeah, because Glyph did what their design was to take neutral spirit and then add all the flavor components back. Where you could buy phenol and furanol and all these kind of things that added back and make a whiskey that mimicked like a style of whiskey. And so I was asking, so how do you know what compounds are in there? Do you use mass spec? Do you do HPLC? What's your technique? And he's like, one of those. Yeah, we use those. The guy really had no idea what he was doing. But I mean, he's a whiskey sales guy. He wasn't the scientist that designed the company, so it's probably not a fair.
To be
Probably
fair,
should have educated him, though.
the dude
Well,
that
they
designed the
could've.
company probably would have also glazed over.
I don't know. You got to be pretty smart to figure out all that. So I don't.
So I pulled a
I
bottle
know.
out from the
Yeah, we
bunker
know.
for us to share tonight. It's a Ball Blair 90. This is actually has got a story with the channel. You know, way back in the day, there were these two guys that reached out to us early on in our journey. They were new to whiskey. They had whiskey. They had means. They had good whiskey, but they didn't know what the heck they were doing. And they reached out to us, and we started interacting with them, and they wanted us to come out to New York. And we're like, I don't know, man, it's kind of weird. You know, we're going to fly out. So we did it. And we got to be pretty close with these guys, Bob and KB. And boy, they had some fun with us over the years. They'd get on these live shows and super chat us and just get me tanked, you know, make me drink White Walker. But I was a little whore and, you know, you're gonna super chat for $100? Yeah, I'll take a shot of that, you know. I mean, whatever. So anyway,
Do we have White Walker?
Oh yeah.
we went out
Just for that.
and
probably.
we spent a weekend out there in New York City, and KB had a plethora, little movie code action for you, of these Ball Blair 90s, and
And they are legit.
I think he had like 14 of them, and we got into them. We're like, Jesus, this is good.
KB and Bob were the pioneers of stockpiling booze that was really good booze at the cheap price.
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh
you-
my God! Yeah, you can't
They,
find
like
this now.
Old Pulteney's, Ball
How many
Blairs.
cannon barrages did they buy?
Exactly,
Oh my God, that Cannon Barrage.
exactly.
Probably my most favorite S&WS bottle of all time.
To be honest with you, the only reason I have this bottle right now is I had to buy it on auction, and I paid way more than you used to pay retail for it. But it's just, there was such a good time for, I don't
Memories.
know, 12 to 18 months of just going down huge, great whiskeys with those guys. And KB was just, it was flowing. Bob would find any bottle you wanted online. If you're like, man, I want one of these Ball Blair 90s. Or we were on a show one night, and I remember looking at my phone, there's a text message. He's like, hey, found 4 old
Yeah.
Pulteney's
Oh, yeah.
21s for this price on this. And I'm like, trying to buy a bottle while we're
He was the original whiskey sniffer. He went out there and found everything.
Yeah.
He knew all
Yeah,
the
he
sites.
But if he told you to buy one, he was giving you a 5-minute head start
Yeah.
because he
Right.
was going to buy
Yeah.
it.
And he did.
He was going to buy the rest of them if you didn't
I'm
buy
like,
them all.
really?
yeah.
They're all gone, you prick.
So interesting you said that. That's a really cool story, and I remember the story of when you got there and getting a call from your wife saying, "What did you do to this guy? Letting me go to New York with these two guys because they got you hammered."
Yeah.
But it's such good memories of people on what we were doing, and we're
Yep.
talking about Tonight Show and you guys and everything else, and even Tim back here, which will introduce and lament. Just things that you're creating with whiskey and memories is unchangeable. Like it's something that never goes away, and you'll never forget it. So Ball Blair to us is always going to be New York. Old Pulteney is always going to be
Only 21.
all right. Just so many
Somewhere we
things we
got a
could pull
picture.
out. I'm sure you guys have stories as well, but I mean that's the cool thing about this is that whiskey's for sharing and having this type of interaction.
One of the things I think is neat, though, is just look at the names in the chat. Everybody out there in virtual land, look at all the names in the chat. There's a community where if you're looking for something, you probably have it at your disposal right now. It's probably there. Ask the question, and
Sounds very close.
somebody knows something more about it, where to get it, how, you know what I mean? It's amazing.
I'll give you an example. I brought this bottle. It's an empty, but we had good memories of this, and it was sitting on my bar, so I grabbed it for tonight. And one of our patrons on the pre-show has a full one.
Right,
He was
unopened.
like, "Oh, I've got one of those." Like they
What?
were rare when they first came out.
I don't know what you
couldn't
could
find
sell
them.
that for now, because this is like the original formulation of Peat Monster too.
Yeah, that's
And it's
OG.
cask strength.
OG
Yeah,
Peat
it's a-
Monster cast rate.
It's a magnum of cast strength.
And it was delicious and
Oh,
really
so
hard to
good.
pour out of that
I
bottle.
can't believe we
and
killed it.
That's why we. I mean,
yeah.
we just. It was so good. I
can't believe you killed
When it hits your lips, it's so good.
Really?
Oh, so good.
You can't
So,
believe we killed
guys, got a super chat here from Bobby J.
Cheers to that guy.
Now,
Bobby
what's
J.
Bobby J bring a memory to? I just see Home Depot orange.
Yep.
Yep. When,
I
he,
mean,
when he walked
no.
in.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had a gathering. It was our 7-year, I think, gathering, and Bobby J walks in with his Home Depot vest on, and
The whole place
the crowd
erupted.
goes wild because
Right.
what he would do is he'd get on the live Zoom events with us, and he would be usually be working at
good it's
Home Depot, taking care of things. So it was cool.
Oh, wait. So Hoagie brings a good point. We do have to take a 2-second. We have to raise our glasses to Molly.
Oh, sure we
It has to be done. She's
Yeah.
on a coin. She was a part of our show for
She's on her bottle.
a long time. She's literally
She's
on
on her
our
bottle.
first bottle. God, she was a part of the show. She would
Yep.
come down. She knew what time it was. She
Oh,
knew
she
what the
did.
game. She knew when to tell us to shut it down because she wanted her freaking pretzels.
Yep, she was good the whole
Peanut butter
show.
pretzels.
Yeah. We even had a Molly cam for a while where you could
We
just switch
did.
it, and everybody could see her down below the camera, looking at us like, shut the
All
camera
right,
down.
it's 11 o'clock.
I
Time to
want my
stop.
peanut butter pretzel.
Yep. And she wasn't going to miss out on it, that's for sure.
Because what we used to do is after the live show, we would shut everything down and we would go over to the other side of Sean's basement and we would throw darts and watch B-rated movies, Airplane and Blazing Saddles and Big Trouble in Little China, those kinds of Chappelle Show, and have fun.
Chappelle Show.
And then we tried to give back and get more serious, and we started doing Zoom calls and after party, after live shows. And those were all fun, but it got to the point where it was like, all right, we really put a lot on our plate, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
we used to show up at Sean's on Thursday night to literally chill. This was the guys, after families are in bed, that just come down and unwind for an hour and throw a game of darts and have a glass of whiskey,
Yep.
And then it got heavy.
You're real heavy.
It
Yeah.
did, and that's the nature of it. If you want it to go, you gotta put the time in. It's not easy. So the fact that we've endured 9 years and 100,000 subscribers.
Well,
I
and
mean,
we were doing it back when you had to do full reviews, and we had to have stuff in the bank in case somebody was sick or out, or it was a lot of work.
Yeah, because when we started out, we were doing a couple a week trying to build
Yeah.
content. following.
It's an interesting. We talk about this all the time, obviously, because I'm a geek about this stuff. But the gamification of YouTube is what honestly it's ever evolving. And when we first started out, we didn't know what we were doing, but that was a place you go to just kind of watch long video. And it's always been a
Yep.
long video content platform.
Yep.
Well, we were talking earlier just kind of about how our timeline of years and whatnot, and then I think it was 2019, Mark had a video went out, I think it was a Johnny Walker for Dummies something or other, and it was great. It blew us up great, but it was a long format video, right?
Yep.
And then we were steady incline. We had a couple of little hits here and there. And June of this year, we played the shorts game. And I'm sure you guys all know what shorts are and what TikTok and Reels, all these different things. It's a different kind of,
Right.
it's a different market. It's a different way of it's like old
consumption.
cable TV.
It's a
Yeah.
different level of consumption.
And so that just really skyrocketed us again. So we're always trying to evolve. So to your point about it's heavy, if you don't play the heavy long game and figure this stuff out, you're going to be in the dust because that's what makes us successful. Is we're always trying to try to stay ahead of the game a little bit.
It's tough though.
That
It's
is
very
hard.
tough.
You got to figure it out.
You have to. It's ever evolving and changing. And it's not just YouTube. It's everything. Just take a step back.
And then our latest challenge, we tried for how many years, guys, to get a cask of scotch. We wanted a bottle of scotch. We're Scotch for Dummies, for Christ's sake, right? It's just so damn hard because there's another layer, an importer, and it's not as easy as you think. So we stumbled into this American single malt game, and we're like, hey, what the hell is this about? Because I really am not a bourbon guy. And then all of a sudden we started tasting some of these American single malts. We're like, well, shit. This tastes a hell of a lot like my love,
Yeah, that's pretty close. A lot of them are good.
And now we're knee deep in it, and it's actually we've got a couple of big boys that are playing in the game, right?
Yep.
What's the latest one? Jim Beam, was that the
Yeah.
one? Jim Beam.
Bullet.
We did a bullet.
Yep.
And so we're having fun. We actually have a bottle out.
Yep.
And what is that bottle? Where is
Where's
that
that
bottle?
chocolate? There.
Well, hello, lover. Look at that beauty.
So we're obviously super excited about this. I think there's like maybe 10 bottles left of this one, but we've got that's our next challenge, right? What are we doing next? What's the big game? It's
Yep.
bottling.
We love supporting American companies, and
you
American
go.
single malts are right in that line, and they have the flavor. The American single malt category has such a breadth of capabilities that I think that they could rival scotches easily. I think with some experience,
With some
time,
experience.
Yeah.
And the thing is, so it's a very chaotic market right now. a lot of small distillers trying to get into the American single malt market, and some are doing great, and some are doing terrible. So you really need to be careful which ones you get. So that's why if we can do reviews of them and we can give you guys some examples of really well done American single malts, there you go. You don't have to play the gamble game.
Yeah, and I think that, and Tim, I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit too. He's a bourbon lover, and he's starting to get into Scotch. But I've also kind of told him about American single malt, and it's interesting when you hear the perspectives of different people that really like bourbon, for example, and the inquiries you get about just what America's doing. And I think it's a really interesting change. I think honestly, it's the next wave. I really truly believe that.
I truly do.
I do too.
I think if bourbon people start learning to appreciate some of these other things in different areas. I mean, I know that the marketing won't say this, but I love the idea of the regional aspects of the states and getting flavor profiles from them. I think that's a thing. It's a thing that the distilleries may not want, but I think it's a real thing. I mean, in Texas, it's a super big thing, right? I mean, anything made in Texas is going to be made really quick.
Well, and they'll put Texas all over the bottle too.
That's
They're
true.
very proud of being Texas.
That's true.
The American single malt industry is young enough to the point where they don't even have an official standard yet, right? That hasn't been codified.
They're working on it.
They're working on it. They're trying. I think most of your distilleries that are playing in the single malt arena are adhering to their own an agreed upon standard amongst them. It just hasn't been codified legally. It reminds me, rewind 10, 15 years ago, you remember when microbrewing became pop? I mean, microbrews were popping everywhere.
Yeah.
And you might walk into a brewery and get a great microbrew, like, holy shit, and then get the next one and be like, I can't drink this.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Because instead of focusing on the American single malt and making a good whiskey, all these new American single malt makers are getting crafty. They're like, well, let's do this. Let's put it in a freaking pail bucket and see if it tastes good. And you're like, what the hell are you doing? Why don't you just make good whiskey first? Make good whiskey, and then you can get all creative. Show me that you know how to make
Is
whiskey.
that with Fruit Loops? I think it may have.
Fruity Pebbles. Oh, damn.
No.
But there's a lot of promise, and it is closer to our heart because it is malted barley, and they are adhering to more standards that we're used to in the Scotch industry. So, and that's my point about it. But anyway, if you haven't had a chance to try the American single malt that we bottled, it was for patrons only. There's I don't know, maybe 10 bottles left,
10, 12
somewhere around there.
Let's do one of these.
Our patrons
speaking of patrons,
have well received it, and they've been very, very kind, saying they honestly thoroughly enjoy it. But I've got some in here. You want to give a
Where's the
couple
chocolate
samples?
malt coaster? Is that the top coaster over there?
It is the top one, yeah.
That one?
Yep. So,
For our patrons.
for our patrons, we are going to give away this chocolate malt coaster.
Made out of
Delicious
the.
whiskey.
Is that made out of the barrel?
Yes, this is made out of the barrel that held the whiskey. It was the leftover wood staves that he had after he did the project that we,
You have the zoom in.
yeah.
Oh, you want me to dram cam?
Oh, you got a dram cam?
Yeah.
Dram cam. Boom. How about that?
So that is burnt. It's burned into the
Laser burnt.
Yeah. So the oak from the cask.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
There's
I
Molly.
haven't seen Molly in a while.
Oh my God, Molly!
Thank you, Lana. Good to see you. Cheers to 9 more years. I love it. Thank you very much.
I miss Molly.
So we're gonna spin a wheel and see which patron gets this. Now we will have other giveaways here in a little bit.
Yeah, we've got some samples. We got all kinds of
You
stuff.
don't have to be a
in the sample.
patron to win. You just have to put a code in the chat when it.
We're going to do that in a minute, but this is for patrons. This is all our patrons so far. So let's see who wins the coaster.
Da, 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 da.
If it's Lana, it's gonna be.
If it's Stephen A.
Oh, no way.
Is he here?
He's right there.
I will donate it.
He said donate it to the next patron. That does look fishy. This is a friend.
That is a little fishy.
Come say hi. Come at least
say hi at
At least come over here and wave to the
That's a
camera.
good introduction, right?
Oh, let me hide that.
I'll donate it because I don't want them to think it's free.
That's strange as shit.
Tim's our golfing buddy, good friend. We'll talk about him in a little bit. We got a long night, so he's going to join us in a little bit. He's drinking on the side and trying some stuff. But yeah, that's so weird that you won that.
That's
All right.
really cool. I could have done something else.
Well,
Right.
We'll try something else here. Let's
Wish it would have been a
those.
Powerball ticket. We're going golfing.
Start again? There
Yeah,
we go.
there we go.
Okay, try again.
Oh, God.
And the winner is not Tim again.
Bobby
Bobby
J!
Oh, wait, is it?
It went to a bourbon drinker. OMG. No, that's awesome. Bourbon prepper,
That's not you,
you
is it?
are getting so contact information is in Patreon, right?
Yeah, we should.
So
Just take notes.
If not, I will. Oh, yeah.
I got it. I got you. Go on.
If not, I will or reach out to them and get their if they didn't.
Should be on
put-
Patreon, yeah.
Yep.
I got the names from the patrons, so congratulations there on that. I see the comment. It's like Tim won. It's hilarious.
Well, it's funny because Bobby J also did Super Jets.
Oh, he did.
I know Bobby J was so
yeah.
close. That was some Wheel of Fortune shit right there, Bobby. I'm sorry,
let's give
man.
something else away to patrons. What else can we do? Let's do another one. I'm feeling really nice there.
We've got a T-shirt, or we've got samples.
got
Coasters
these
up
two.
there. We got samples.
Rocks and glassware. You want to do that?
Oh, okay.
You want to do that?
Yeah, let's give it all away,
Bring it out
man.
here and show off what
Give it all away. We wouldn't have it if it weren't for them.
That's true.
Might as well give it back to them.
You know what? I also want to do some of these because these
'Cause
are
Hell yeah.
Why
these
we
are,
here? I
these are
say
one of a kind.
give it all back to the people that made it happen.
How's this thing work? There we go.
And if you're a subscriber watching the live show that called me an alcoholic and a comment, no, I'm kidding.
We don't usually call people out, but
But
All right. So what we've got here before we
Okay,
get to
we're gonna do that one first, these guys, and then we'll
do
do
these
that.
guys do So four spins.
Yep.
So what these are is these are the prototypes. Of
oh my
the-
God,
oh
really?
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are the prototypes that came out. They actually are numbered, all numbered at 1 of the coins that we got, which third fill coins. But you'll see what you see about it's unique about these. They don't have the strip on the edge because that's a custom thing that we had put on. So these are the original prototypes that we got from the coin maker. And of course, you gotta have the Dr. Scotch one because that's the best one there.
No, the commander right here.
Dr. Scotch, I think, is better.
We'll pick one to give away first.
So let's do Dr. Scotch first.
Yeah, you go.
There
You're
you
talking,
go.
you
That's
get
the
to
best
do
one.
it. That's right.
So
Bathroom break.
we will get your email and
Oh, hold on. What's this?
Ah, Kim.
thank you. Kim.
Love you.
Oh, my
That's
gosh.
awesome.
Oh, better place.
Cheers.
Better whiskey.
Thanks for
Cheers.
showing us, Molly.
Cheers.
Thank you so much, Kim.
All right,
We
so
love you.
We'll start with
And
Dr.
I will
Scotch.
always remember our song together. That's such a fun time.
Life was changed that night. It will never be the same.
No. All right, here we go. Let's do this one. Let's remove.
So that is showing.
So is
see
this
that?
going
That's
patrons?
showing.
Yep, this is patron too.
That's showing.
Patron
So,
only.
next winner is Charlie Murphy.
Oh, that's a good one
That's
to
a
go
good
to.
one. Nice,
All right.
Chris.
So Chris goes with that.
All right, so
Is that everyone?
we're taking
Yep.
notes.
Yep.
Everyone gets that coin.
Nice work, sir.
All right, we'll remove you. How about what's the next one you want to do? Or do you want to wait and come back to it?
Oh, I had Zebra Hunter next.
Oh, well,
Hunter?
we can give away 2, and then we'll come back and
All
give the
right,
other 2.
Zebra
How
Hunter
about
it
that?
is.
I wish I had tape.
Everybody
Okay.
wants that one. Come on now.
I don't have tape.
Here we go. For the Zebra Hunter.
I don't know where I'm finding that
You could
shit.
just write down on that paper.
I got it.
Aubrey Chase.
All right.
All right, so we should have all your
Congratulations.
guys' address as long as it's correct in
In Patreon.
Patreon. I'll tell you what, we'll email you, double check it before we ship anything.
Yep.
That works.
Yeah, but congratulations to you
Nice.
guys. And so we're going to do some more giveaways here
Who was
later
that?
on.
Aubrey Chase.
Aubrey Chase,
Aubrey
yes.
Chase.
And we're also going to get some giveaways to just people that are watching right now. So stay tuned for that. The bot that Chris loves so much is going to help us with that. But anyway,
Like samples of I don't know, Victoriana or something, right?
Or
Yeah.
samples of this, because they can't get it if they're not a patron.
Well, that's
a good one to
true
do too.
Yeah, they can have a
Take your
sample.
pick, man.
sample of chocolate malt. I like that. I like where you're going.
Are you having Victoriana?
I'm getting ready to have some right now.
I will.
It's one of my
So
favorites.
I was going to look this up. Is Zach Andrews in the chat?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I was going to call him out. Not to say that there's not another person out there that wouldn't know it, but can someone tell me real quick or look it up with the variations of Victoriana? What was the variation 1 and variation 2 ABVs? I want to know which one this is. This is 54.1, I think. This is 51.5.
Don't they batch that regularly?
No, they don't.
I couldn't tell you. That's actually really good trivia. I don't know.
Zach knows him. I've talked to him about it many times. I just don't.
Somebody in this
I
chat
don't remember
will
what I
know.
had for
Leanne will
breakfast,
tell
you
us.
guys.
I know she knows.
Yeah, Leanne.
Oh, it's exceptionally smooth.
It is exceptional.
That should not be on a whiskey label.
Well, they're proud of it. It is smooth.
Some intern wrote that.
Well, it's flipping ass good. I know that. I don't care what
It's
you want to call
exceptionally
it.
rare, too.
So Tim, I actually am interested in what you think of this. This is a really great dram. It should be right up your wheelhouse.
Really? As a bourbon guy? I don't know if it's a bourbon brand.
I walked
he'll like
into
it. I know it's
21st
okay.
Amendment Liquors in Indianapolis one year, and they had a whole freaking big pyramid of these things on sale for like, I don't know, $70 or something,
Oh.
$65. And I think I ended up buying 6 of them. I bought one for you guys for Christmas, each
Yeah.
one
Yep.
of you guys, right? And I bought myself 1 or 2, and I'm checking out, and I'm like, well, screw it. I bought a Deanston 30, because it was a steal. I'm like, really? It's sitting way up there. Anyway, I'm getting ready to check out. I'm like, is there anything else you got in here? He's like, I don't know. We got this Glen Scotia 25. It won some award in San Francisco last week. It's like $200. You want that? I'm like, yeah, man.
Yes.
Did you even hesitate? Yeah.
No, I didn't. And you can't get that bottle for like $600 now.
No.
I want that.
There's a reason why he is called the Bunker Commander,
I
folks.
swear to God, I
He's
want
got like
A ridiculous amount of
Like you need to go down with a freaking light and just crawl around his floor because the shit you had down there is.
I
epic.
love going in there and buying something from somebody that they don't know what they got. You know, you're like, ooh, $200? I don't know. I guess I'll take it because you know in your back of your head it's worth $5.
Turn it tomorrow and double my value. Yeah.
Okay, so we got some. First of all, what Trooper? You've never had this? That is a shame. You've got to get
Many good liquor stores have
a hold of
so.
this girl. She'll hook you
You
up.
live way
Oh,
too
yeah.
close to Scotch and
She'll hook you
Bayou
up.
to not have had Victoriana.
Should be
batch
Natch
one.
one. Natch one.
That's batch one?
Natch. Oh, it's Natch one. Sorry, I couldn't resist it.
That's a Louisiana thing.
It is.
Probably. It's delicious.
It's so
I don't care
good.
what batch it is, it's good.
All right, so we talked about memories. So you didn't even tell us about some of your favorite memories of videos.
Well, and Andrew didn't give his either.
No, you didn't.
Well, mine was the Bunker Commander, or the Wheelhouse. That was,
That's Zebra Hunter.
Zebra Hunter.
I have to think about it, guys. Let's continue the conversation. I'll actually put some brain power to this. I don't have many of those cells
If you
left.
see the dust
Was
falling
it
on that one.
I'm thinking it's probably relates to that bottle that's down underneath there.
Oh,
That King Alexander story.
Well,
I
think he
mean,
remembers that story.
I don't remember the story as much as I remember the review of the bottle because that was our first 4, and that's always going to leave a memory in my mind because
That's
I
true.
mean, honestly, our scaling system, we've always been beaten up over it. You know,
What?
why aren't you doing 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 or And if you guys think about it, you watch all these other channels and read magazines, right? You know, if they're doing a scale of 1 to 100, do you ever see anything under an 85? Or so we decided to do a 1 to 4 based on the pour finger. You know, you want a 1 finger because it's okay. You want 2 fingers because it's better. 3 fingers is pretty good. 4 fingers, it's great.
Fill it up. Yeah.
I still remember sitting in your basement and we were discussing
Figuring that
this.
out,
Yeah.
right?
And that was his thing. Your
Oh,
uncle, somebody did it.
No, I think it was my late father-in-law. He used to say a 4-finger pour or a 2-finger pour. That's cheap. 2-finger pours, But
It just stuck with us.
it
was
stuck
cool.
with us, and at the end of the day,
And there's 4 of us.
It
made
exactly.
sense.
And it's not about the number. It's about what we were. It was the review.
It's the
That's the
discussion going into
content. Yeah. It's who cares what you graded it, right? But then when we got into that bottle below that we're gonna get out in a second, and it was our first four, it was like, shit, man, this is the best whiskey I've ever had.
Do you guys
Like
remember?
it was a level above anything else we've ever
Right.
tried.
It was just far.
do you
above.
remember? I remember sitting there, even though it was long. Was it? Gosh,
9 years.
what was it? Was that long ago? Was the first one? So I still remember sitting there going, all of us being shocked by fours. Like we were just so blown away. I'm like, I cannot believe
It happened.
it happened. Like,
Boom.
and then some of our best, honestly, when we hear all the time for comments, some of our best videos are when we all disagree. Like we're all over the place.
Those are my
Those are really
favorites.
good.
We just had one.
Yeah,
We did hit that one.
Yeah.
It was ugly.
Yeah, you did not hold back.
No,
know
I
what, though?
did not hold back.
Hey, the funny thing is over 9 years of doing reviews, when we were hot and heavy doing 15-minute reviews all the time, it got to the point, guys, where I could taste a whiskey and I had a number in my head. I know where I'm going. It's a 253 or whatever. I can when I got my 3, I already know where you guys are at. I mean, and I'm pretty accurate.
Yeah, so
Every
for,
now and again,
for
you throw a
anybody who thinks
curveball.
that like us talking about the number and it influences, no.
It doesn't. I mean, literally, I'm like, oh, Sean's at a 2.5.
I
on
already
this.
know. Yeah. Well, we've done it for so long. I know where you're at. I know
For
you
9
guys'
years, we know
palates.
each other, yeah.
Right.
Drew probably knows better than any of us because he watches us over
I
and
don't
over
do.
again.
There's
calling
no
us
way
shit
I
out.
could do it. There's no way I could do
You
what
guys
he does.
don't. You guys have no idea the amount of stuff I've seen. on
If you
YouTube.
put a blooper reel together for
I'm-
tonight, I'm walking out.
I
do
am
not
still
wanna be
waiting
here
for a
that
blooper
shit.
reel. I was so hoping that there would be one. Like Drew was
Dude.
throwing clips
See how
up.
much time that would take.
Thank God.
I didn't want you to do like a whole blooper reel, but just like 5 of the best. Like,
I can't put it out because it's so bad that people will be
I
like,
mean, there's some really bad shit. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
we're potty mouths.
We would lose our job probably, our
Oh,
day job.
what
I
happens?
There's no PC going on. in
What
some of these
happens when the
conversations.
camera? We would finish a review and cut, and Drew's like, keep talking, we want some B-roll, and then all that would quit, and the wheels would go off. We would, you guys,
We'd be on the second or third review.
Yeah, I was
and it
gonna
would
say
be
the third.
bad,
If we did it, the
bad.
Third one's usually when the wheels came off. but
Really
They're
bad.
starting to come off now, which is great.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
fine.
all right.
But a favorite memory, not necessarily a review of mine, is when we were in New York. We went back to visit Bob and KB one or two more times, and at one time we're standing there in KB's apartment south of the Central Park, and he's like, "You like to go fishing? Why don't you get us a fishing
my
thing?"
gosh.
Right? And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, I was-
what are we gonna go?
That
buy
was
some-
ridiculous.
That was one of the best memories I've ever had.
We went striper fishing.
I looked at KB. I'm like,
Wait,
we're gonna go to Walmart and buy some rod and reels and go to
what, at
Central
Central
Park.
Park you went fishing?
No, next to the Statue of Liberty.
we could throw paper at the Statue of Liberty fishing.
And we weren't
So cool.
like on the island fishing off into the
No.
water. We were on a boat fishing
Yeah,
next
in
to
the Hudson
Statue
River.
of Liberty.
Fishing for
I mean,
Ridiculous.
he looked at me. He's like, I'm like, all right, guys, what's our budget, right? So we come up with a number. I'm like, give me your laptop.
Also, we were drinking
minutes
Glen
later.
Farkless out of a
Out of a bottle.
and we were all
20
pretty drunk.
25-year-old, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was 101. I think
Yeah, it was
it's
101.
We were all very drunk.
We were ripped. And we were catching huge stripers right there in the Hudson.
Nobody
This
else
was
is
such a-
fishing there. That captain looked confused too. Like, we don't know, dude.
I still tell that story to friends. I'm like, I fished next to the Statue of Liberty. What did you do?
And caught
I
fish.
caught fish.
We have pictures and video.
It's proof.
It's weird, man.
That
But
was that on a trip or something?
here's
Where did you
here's a fun memory. Do you remember unboxing the Macallan 6 down in my basement?
Oh,
Did we wear suits? Or
we wore sport coats.
It was
yes.
ridiculous.
We wore the button-up
That
shirts
whole
with-
thing, like, there was a big cardboard box, and then there was like it was like a nesting egg of boxes to get down to that bottle.
Wait, let's
Ridiculous.
back up a half a step. The fact that we even had the bottle blew my mind, right? So we had this awesome event at your restaurant at the time, and it was that was
Highland Park.
Highland Park. We had so much fun. It was a great dinner, great whiskeys. Everybody left with a bottle, but the distributor had some bottles up front that were for sale that they were putting up there or whatever, and we had a great night. Everything's done. A day or two later, you're like, hey, so look, man, this bottle's still there. And he said,
What do you want?
it's for us. And we're like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's for us? That's like a $5,000 bottle, Sean.
Yeah, and it still is. You can still buy one.
It still is.
And we got to unbox it. Like it was super cool. And I mean it was a very smooth scotch.
It was
Right? It was really
You know
good.
what though? I honestly, I am so proud of the way we handled what we did with that bottle.
Yep.
I think we did justice by it. We did what we were supposed
shared
to
it
do.
out.
Yep.
We reviewed it. We enjoyed a dram, a 1 ounce pour, and then we gave 5 2-ounce pours away. I think
At least
6.
Yeah.
5 or 6.
We gave away the bottle. We gave away everything.
we did everything.
We didn't keep
yeah.
any of it.
Yeah,
Which
it
is
was very
sad because
fair.
that was a Lalique crystal decanter.
That
Like,
thing
it
in and
was-
of itself is worth money, right?
Yeah. So that was a good memory and fun.
So Jimmy Jazz has some of that Macallan left. He was one of the ones that won the.
Oh my gosh.
That was
do you
so much
really?
fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I still, every time I go to Vine Table, because they usually have one in the glass, I looked at one the other day, I'm like, oh my gosh, we actually had a bottle of that. That's
Yeah, and
unbelievable.
then
When you see it behind the glass and they
Hoagie's,
want $5,000 for it.
Hoagie's out.
See you, Hoagie.
Hoagie,
Good to see
we
you,
love
sir.
you, brother. It's really good to
Everyone.
see you. Thank you for coming by.
wow.
Well, I guess we're
you.
doing White Walker.
What
right?
No, no, he did not
No,
say
he didn't
anything
say.
about nothing. There's nothing about doing
come
any
on, Tim.
stupid things.
Martin's
here.
another brother of ours, so thank you, Martin. Love you, guy. Have a great time this weekend. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
So
Represent, brother.
So Justin and who else?
it was.
Oh my God.
That was a good.
Yeah,
one.
we met John Glazer.
You got that bottle that we got that night?
Spaniard. Yep.
Yeah, it's back over here. So interesting story behind that, and I'll let you continue just a second. But I was at a work event a few weeks ago, and I was telling, it was a weird situation, but I was telling our story. And somebody actually brought up an interesting drink called a penicillin. I was like, a penicillin with scotch, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah. I'm like, let me tell you a story
Let me tell you a
about
story
that.
about that. I went to the bar where that was created with the whiskey maker.
I showed them the
whiskey.
picture of that. So that was John Glazer. Go ahead and keep going. But that's
Well,
so crazy.
Yeah, so we had an opportunity to interview John Glazer at the Spaniard in New York City and talk about whiskey in general. And the thing that was so interesting. So do you remember which whiskey we were drinking that was corked?
I don't remember what.
It was the
Was it the story of the
it
Spaniard?
was the story of the Spaniard.
The
Yeah.
story of the Spaniard. So
that
this
was
was the
newly
original of the
released.
Spaniard that was made specifically for the bar in New York. And then they wanted to replicate the kind of the flavor profile of it. And so they created the story of the Spaniard and made it a large.
That's the retail
large-
version.
That's the retail version. And so while we were tasting it, John had this look at it. He paused, and then he had this look in his eye that was like something's off. And then so the conversation stopped, and he was kind of working on the whiskey, and then essentially he said, "I think this bottle's corked." And so when a bottle is corked, that means the cork inside it has gone bad. There's some flavor components to get into the whiskey from the cork that gives it all flavor. It tastes like wet newspaper. So if you ever get a bottle of whiskey that kind of has a wet newspaper flavor, that means there's some chemicals in the cork that were extracted into the whiskey, and it ruins the bottle. So he said, and we pay extra money to get good corks, so we don't have this issue. So he took
He was mad.
took the bottle.
He was not happy.
He called his right hand Mark, who
Yeah.
was the vice president.
And they
He
took the bottle, they took the
ziplocked
cork,
it.
yeah, ziplocked the
While we were
cork.
sitting at the table.
Yeah, it's like he was.
And ironically, I don't know if it was that same weekend or a month later, whatever, the Whiskey Expo, we go to it knowing this knowledge now.
Yep.
And I think it was a Lefroy. At
Yeah,
the
it was
time.
a Lefroy a Lefroy
An
25.
old one.
You called it
that.
out.
So there was a Lefroy 25.
I remember that.
They were sampling at the whiskey event, and I'm like,
Dude, that's corked.
that's not right. That is not what it's supposed to taste like. And I think it was corked, and of course they said, no, we don't have that problem. Well, okay.
Yeah, you do.
Everybody
Maybe you
has
don't,
that
Everybody
problem.
has that
this
problem.
tastes off. I mean, because it's a natural product. so
John was a
there's
mind
chance.
blown to me.
Yeah.
That man's palate and nose is
That was one
a
of the
different
most
level.
nervous I've been talking to whiskey people. Because normally whiskey people, and not that John was pretentious in any
Not
way,
at all.
No.
but he was just knowledgeable.
But remember him feeling us out?
Yeah, he wanted to know if we knew whiskey enough
it took
for
a
him to
second.
sit at the table and
took a
talk to
second.
us.
Yeah, so we sat at the table, and the first start of the interview was kind of stiff, And then when we would respond back with good questions, and he would ask us things, and then we would explain what we're doing and why we do it and what we like about it. And then then the walls came down.
I think it helped that we were 5 Midwestern guys sitting at a table.
Well, I think it was just the fact that we weren't there to show off.
No.
I mean, we
We were
actually ran
whiskey
into him a few more times, and it was really good. Like, I feel like we had a good relationship for a while.
He's really a neat guy.
Really down-to-earth guy.
I'm very curious to see what he's going to do with himself now that he's stepped down from Compass Box, and passed that on. We interviewed several people from Compass Box over the years. The guy that's taken over is the lead blender, Jackson.
Yep.
Is that his name?
Andrew, why don't you
He's a
go down
Frenchman.
there and
He's a Frenchman. I can't
pick a
remember.
bottle.
Andrew, is it Andrew?
No.
Can I open this?
Oh wait.
So today we're going to try.
Oh, is it, see if it's corked? Oh, what is that?
So what's the story behind this? Why
right.
is this interesting that we're going to open?
And that's my last one. I've got a batch 2, but that's my last batch 1. So
Tell the story, because I forgot.
I've already told
I-
the story once today.
I was
No.
into Tamdu hard when we first discovered Tamdu. It's a big sherried whiskey. They're really good. If
That's
you've
all
never
they
had
do.
one, I recommend it. But they came out with a batch series that was like higher proof.
So can I
And
open it?
yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. No, you seriously.
I'm glad you're
I'll never open a bottle again without question.
we bought a batch 1, and it was really good.
It's pretty freaking good.
And so I went back and bought another one just for me. And so I had it underneath my bar, because when we were at my bar, I had the back bar, and that was all like fair game. You guys could drink whatever you wanted. But the underneath part of the bar was my like private stash where I put my bottles so these yokels wouldn't drink it. And we were on, was it
it?
live? It must have been
It was a live show because you could actually.
and I'm sitting
watch
up
him
in
get
the
mad.
front of the bar, and Andrew got my batch 1 out and opened it up, and was like,
delicious, dude.
but I think I told you to get the batch 1 because we had it
Yeah.
on the back shelf.
Open.
And he
No,
opened my
no,
unopened
he
bottle.
said get the batch 1, so I reached out and got the batch 1.
Well, tonight you get to get the batch 1, and I'm not going to be mad at you.
in Andrew's defense, he went out the next day and bought him another
He
bottle.
did. He replaced it. And
But
guess what? That's what we're having tonight.
But the look
So,
on
there you
Sean's
go.
face.
this is a memory that I will never forget
that's a
because
video.
I was right here at the time when we were switched because I was running the computer, and I just remember you can see the video. Sean's like, "Hey, what the?" He gets so mad.
And there's Andrew
Andrew's
with
like,
half-killed shit like,
I didn't
But it
know
was
that
just because all of us knew the rule. Like my whiskeys were up underneath the bar. Like we all knew the rule. And I've got like 60 open bottles behind him, and he grabbed that one.
I
too.
forgot we had a time to on the back bar.
Now, to be fair, we were probably drunk.
oh yeah,
No, that wouldn't be it.
that was
But
so funny.
if you've never had one
my
of the batches,
gosh.
they're delicious. But the batch 1 especially.
It's a special bottle.
It is.
All right, boys, let's give
You know,
a giveaway to.
I wonder what that's worth now if we go online and.
I don't have a 1. I have a 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think
don't
I
have a
might
1.
have a 1.
Yeah, they're hard
Oh
to
my
come
gosh!
by.
Talk
dude.
about a sherry
Tamdu,
bottle.
that's all they
Oh,
do is
ah.
sherry cast. They do ex-sherry cast.
And they do it right.
Yes.
Oh my
This
gosh.
one, though, is a punch in the
So
face.
at the time,
Like leather and.
I'll get to it. There,
it's so
good.
we were in the midst of
musty.
putting together a Scotland tour,
Yeah.
and we
Oh,
worked
yeah.
pretty hard. It was a lot of work, and we had partnered with a guy that had a company over there, and it was neat because he put a bespoke tour together for us. I mean, we were getting into distilleries that don't do public tours, like Tamdu. And it was going to be badass. We had the bus, we had transportation, everything was lined up, and
Yeah, I mean, essentially, you show up in Edinburgh on this day, and they'll drop you off in Glasgow this day, and everything's taken care of, except for maybe a lunch or something.
it was
But
Wonderful.
the tours that we had set up were like places that didn't do tours.
Or
Like
if they
flat
did
didn't
two
do them.
tours, we had really good relationships, like Glenmoe with Glenmoe Dan. Like, you guys are going to get taken
Yep.
care of here. And
Yeah, you're gonna go taste
and
your old
then,
casks.
you know, this thing happened to the world where we all went batshit crazy over a virus,
Yeah,
and COVID shut it down. We couldn't do the tour. And unfortunately, when COVID kind of lifted,
got it.
the tour guide that we were in cahoots with here, in partnership with, had passed away, not from COVID, but nevertheless, we haven't gotten back to do
Busload
it.
of dummies,
Yeah,
yeah.
the busload of dummies has not and we've thought about it, and we know you've all asked, and we want to figure. We all want to go, of course we do, but I don't know what we're going to do about it. We still haven't figured it out. I know that Martin is on and Kim is on, and you're pushing us pretty hard to go to Scotland next year, and I'm going. I don't know if we're going as Scotch for Dummies. I want to do that. I still want to put a bottle of Scotch together. Who knows? You know, we're just getting started, man. Heck, we're only 100,000 subscribers.
Still young
boys.
men.
Right?
I don't know about that. Have you seen the camera lately?
Yeah.
But
I don't know about you old gray dudes, but
Yeah.
I still look like I did when I
Dude,
started this
you
thing,
don't
man.
get old.
Wait a minute, you
don't
got
get
some
old
over
till
there
you're
starting to
retired.
say something.
If I take my contacts out, I don't need them.
I'm the same way.
I'm gonna set
So I
that
started
right
a
there.
raffle. People are already starting to do it. We'll give it another few minutes here, but we're gonna give away another coin. How about that?
Give away a coin? Okay.
Give away a coin. Which one you pick?
Well, the next one was going to be Bunker Commander. So.
Okay,
There you go.
Because
All
the
right.
Milestone
The
has to
classic.
go last.
I like that one.
All right, the Bunker Commander is up for grabs.
This Tamdu. Oh my gosh!
You guys
I
are way
forgot
ahead
it.
of me. I'm still on Glen Scotia.
Hey, man, get another glass.
I thought you were.
I'm not getting another. We're not drinking White Walker here.
So actually, that's another interesting story. So you used to be before we kind of got PC, I guess. You used to be the Scotch whore. You have
So-
shirts.
I do have. I should have wore that shirt tonight. I almost did.
Oh,
It was a
this
T-shirt.
says- Scotch Hoarder.
Hoarder.
My first name that got stuck to me was the Scotch whore, and you know what? I don't take offense to it because there's not a Scotch. I mean, it's pretty hard to find a Scotch that I don't like. Yeah, there's a few. White Walker, Scotch Blue, but for most part, you know.
I would argue Scotch Blue's not a Scotch.
Right, thank you.
It is legally
If you're pouring a Scotch,
so good.
I'm gonna drink it. And so that name stuck for quite a while. But there were some people in my life that didn't like that name being associated with me, and so it got changed to the Bunker Commander. And I was cool with that because I've got a lot of Scotch in the basement, and everybody calls it the Bunker, and that's cool. But I've been humbled, man. There are some people out there that I'm friends with in this community. I'm not going to name any names that make my bunker look pretty.
Oh,
Wow.
Joe! White Walker for the OGs before me, please.
Oh,
Way to
Well, you know
start
what?
it.
I can do that, and here's why.
I'm not gonna
Because I'm gonna hit that, and then I'm gonna have a sip of this Tamdu, and it's gonna go away. Because this Tamdu
Get the bottle,
is-
boys.
Yeah. You haven't tried this? Oh, you're gonna love this.
Why don't you take my shot?
I don't know if love this.
I'm not doing a
Hold on, let
full
me get in the
shot.
ground and
Hey,
dig
buddy.
it out.
It's not Malort.
My son took
exactly
that
where
whole
it's at.
bottle of Malort to his fraternity this week.
Good for him.
Go.
He said it wasn't that bad.
That's
Not
because
my
it's free.
kid.
So,
Those college kids, it's free, man.
Johnny Walker, White Walker by Johnny Walker.
Oh,
In the color changing bottle,
It was beautiful.
the color changing skin on the bottle.
It's no Coors Light.
Because Johnny Walker recommends you put this in the freezer to freeze it down before you drink
To
it.
be able to
Because it
drink
make
it.
it taste better. And it actually does.
You want to go through the whole Game of Thrones thing, like why this is here?
That's not a bad suggestion.
Go ahead.
Because it
I
was
forget the
actually
story.
like, honestly,
a good marketing
They
idea.
did a cool marketing job because they picked different distilleries.
To represent the different houses.
Yeah, and so it was all of the other houses single malts, right? And then they had this like generic White Walker, Johnny Walker, blended Scotch, and everybody was kind of like, "Is it gonna be?" Because we went through all. Did we go through all the
Yeah.
whole series?
We did.
We did. Didn't we?
Yeah,
I have the whole series at my
and
house.
like some of them were really good. Some of them were a little more like because they were all from
glass
the
balls.
lineup that Johnny Walker uses. So like some of them were a little more blendy scotches. Some of them had a little more flavor and character. but they
Cardew,
were-
Royal
yeah,
Brocla.
but they were decent.
They're
you
pretty
know,
good.
They,
They're
were
pretty
all
good.
right. And then that looked viscous. Was it?
Well, I don't know.
It looked more like cough syrup.
So, and the thing about the thing is the bottles, when you put it in the freezer, it turns like colors
Yeah,
and blue,
blue
and
and-
everything.
It's like Coors Light, but with Scotch.
this is gonna be so
Right.
bad. I don't even want to try it.
So here's the thing.
That's
It
why
was
you see me shudder?
how much was this bottle?
$29.
It was $29 then,
Alright,
but you
they
could-
were like giving it away by the
It was
end
like 19.
because
it was
nobody wanted this thing.
I name you one person that likes this bottle. I swear to God, you can't.
It was like the butt of the Scotch community's
smelling
jokes for a while.
Trying to figure out what that smell is.
Acetone.
Acetone
Yeah.
and heartbreak.
Yeah, fucking glue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys.
Like
They
paint
used
thinner.
like old horse in it or something.
Of course.
Yeah, there's some tendons
Smells
and
like
ligaments in
decay.
there.
No,
Look, dude,
Joe,
back in the day.
thanks, brother.
Are we just going to share that down the line?
Yeah,
Is
we're
that
gonna
what's going
share
on?
Gonna,
Yes,
we're not gonna shoot that whole thing. 'cause
I'm just
that
gonna
one-
have a small sip of that. I can't do
But
it.
I got to admit, so everybody has to reset their palate and to calibrate their palate. And this is the way, you have to calibrate 0 and 100%.
It's better than
This
Scotch
is probably
Blue.
the 0.
Better than Scotch
No, it's
Blue.
not.
No,
yes,
it's
it is.
not.
No, because this has all the off flavors. Scotch Blue, it was just thin.
Yeah.
Scotch Blue was piss.
Here's the thing. I think I've only given a 1 twice.
You gave one last
You
week.
gave one
That
recently.
was the second one.
That one, honestly, that was hardcore.
What was
That was
that?
hardcore.
I went,
We're not gonna say it. We're not gonna say it.
but I did put my foot in it.
Oh,
We haven't released that video
I
yet.
don't hear you complain.
But I was bitter and angry at that.
She's gotten better with age, boys. She's gotten better with
agree.
age.
I'm going to say you're wrong.
Nah, I think he's
I'm going
right.
to throw that out right
I
now.
think when you off-gas all the acetone,
okay. So,
This is a bad scotch.
ooh, okay. There's the aftertaste.
the
It's not
finish.
Come on,
finish
man. It's
kills
not
it.
Scotch Blue. It's Scotch. You said that's a bad
okay.
Scotch. It's still Scotch.
Here's
That's
the
what I'm
thing.
saying.
I'm not going to argue with you because I don't recollect it that much. I mean, I will say the
But you know
Scotch
what-
Blue is bad,
But you know why that doesn't taste bad? It's because we just had batch 1.
and I'm going back to it right now.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's as bad as I remember, but it's not good either.
No, see the
How
problem
about
with it's got a lot of like elbows and angular flavors
Elbows.
that it doesn't meld well at all. And so when you got this,
Maybe if we put it in the freezer until it turns blue.
All right,
Everybody hit 15 seconds back and look at Sean's face.
Let's pick a winner for this giveaway.
compared to the 2 glasses you have in your hand,
Oh, Bunker
yeah,
Commander
it's
coin?
bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's
All
not
right,
good.
guys, hey,
It's not good.
Bunker Commander coin. Here we go. Ready?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Get this away from my coin. Damn, I don't want people to think that I get
this
this.
glass
Oh.
away too.
Look at that.
What's that?
Kim won.
There you go.
Did she really?
She did.
All right.
That's a good coin to win.
Yes, it is. It's.
I love how my stuff still
I
works.
love it.
I've used it in a year.
You set it up and it works, man.
Still
Bulletproof.
works.
The Molly still
Good job,
pops out.
Kim.
Kim has won
Congratulations.
something great.
Let's do another one while we're going here.
Okay, and this is for the
this is for the best coin we have.
well, someone already.
You already gave that one away.
Where'd it
didn't we?
go? Where'd it go?
Can't give it away if you don't have it. You lost it.
Did you use my
What's this? Another $100 for Georgie.
George? Thank you, sir.
The Amos driver representing Boxer.
Seriously,
I didn't
where
see
did
the
the
rest
coin
of it. Oh my gosh, what did he say? On that screen.
Mine.
Hey, for those of you,
No. This Tamdu Batch 1 takes care of that problem.
No problem,
man.
it's good.
for those of you that are wondering why you know that name, go watch some Hitchcock movies, maybe North by
Hey,
Northwest.
don't give it
You,
away.
You know what we should do? We should give
I love
away a sample of this Batch 1.
I like that.
I think it's a great idea.
Oh.
I need to get a pour before you go and give it all away.
We're giving away your pour, so that's too bad.
The milk's gone bad. You take another step, he's going under the window.
Stop it.
We got a
Stop.
file
I
over there.
didn't say anything.
Do we have a Sharpie even down here?
Yes.
Ah.
I just had one.
Are there anybody out there in the chat world that remember the old videos with the movies and stuff?
I do.
We
We picked great ones.
There was some really fun times. If you go back and watch those videos
Slide down so I can look for the.
during our review of them, while we're giving our individual perceptions and comments on nose and palate and stuff, Sean and I
Here it is.
would
No, it's not.
normally work in.
We were
Some-
big B movie situations.
There was
yeah.
a reference to the movie that was playing behind us in our review in
Yep.
some way, shape, or form. It's there, and you can always, if you don't find it, you're like, I don't get it. Watch the faces, because usually when it happened, Sean and I would just look at each other like, yeah, this is gonna go over buddy's head.
Yeah, nobody's gonna catch any of
Nobody's
this.
got this, but it had to do with what was playing on behind us, and I loved the aspect of doing that.
We originally had planned to do one of those, like just pick a movie, because we never talked about the movie. Like it wasn't like we brought it up; it was just playing in the background because that was what we did on Thursdays. We would watch movies or just like random stuff, and we'd have scotch, and so we didn't want to change it when we started doing the videos. And our goal was to just have a different movie behind every review, and then I think we got about 10 in, and we're like, it's like the focus is weird. It's
Yeah.
not working out the way we want it
Yeah.
to, so we just gave up on it.
That goes back to the original intent. When we very first started the channel, one of our things that we were trying to do was to invite you to our bar. We wanted you in Cameraland to be out here, pull a chair up, because that's what we do. This is us off camera. We're shooting the breeze. We're just being four guys talking about our
Bob
lives,
H.
our
remembers.
families. Right, of course Bob even remembers.
Nothing like watching Black Dynamite. And I think we did a good job of that.
Right, we really wanted you to feel like you were pulling a chair up, and we expected you to pour a dram and have a glass with the conversation, even though you're probably watching it, recorded or whatnot.
But we also had envisioned being able to like basically taste all the scotch there was in about a year.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true too.
We thought that we were just going to burn through this and go do something else.
We didn't know what we were doing.
And here we are 9 years later, and we haven't even gotten to all the distilleries yet.
That's correct.
I know, right? And you know what though? And when I think about it, so I talked about what the YouTube world looked like back then, as far as other channels. There's other channels out there that we definitely still do support and love. I mean, I think Aquavita's doing. I love what he's doing for the community, what he's doing for the Scotch world. That's what he set out to do, and he's doing it. He's great. We haven't touched base with Rob up in Canada in a long time, but
Nope.
I miss the guy. He's a solid guy. He's got a great palate, great nose, good dude. Love to get together with him. I always wanted him to come down.
I was up there and just missed him by like an hour. Like I was up with the family. We were on vacation, and he was doing a tasting at a bar that was like not too far away from where we were at. And I was like, I can pop down, but the family's here. It's kind of weird. We're just gonna walk into this bar and
Be like, what's up?
yeah, and I really wanted to because he's a good dude.
He is. He's solid.
And it just didn't work out. But there's a lot of people like that just.
I mean, the test
solid
dummies,
whiskey people
Scott
that we've
has
met over the
moved
years.
on, and I mean, the test dummies are still there. They still do work, and they're still doing videos, but Scott's with SMWS now. Heck, we got Scotch in the Bayou that spawned, and she's killing it, man. You want to talk about connected. Leanne has got,
Yeah, she's way more connected.
she's got more contacts in the industry than we do by a long shot.
She
She's,
nailed it.
what?
Nothing. Let's give a giveaway here. So, let's pick a winner.
Put that back up.
Nope. Pick a winner. Lana.
Man,
Perfect.
I wrote a
Lana.
note down that
So
Kim
Lana
gets
gets
bunker
batch one.
commander, and I love
Good.
it, but
Couldn't go to a nicer person.
Good
Congratulations.
job, Lana.
Good to see you.
And if you've never had a batch one, I hope you enjoy it. 'Cause it's delicious, and there's not many left now.
Nope.
Let's give away my Maestro coin.
Maestro.
nobody wants it.
Is that this
it a
one, or is that
patron, or is
the
that a
patron?
giveaway?
Is this batch one?
Oh,
Yeah,
let's do
Yeah, it is.
one more.
Did you get some?
I haven't seen you in
Yeah.
so long. I haven't seen her in a long time.
It doesn't play either. Actually, I'm excited because now I'm going to let it sit on my bar for a couple of weeks, and it's going to open up,
Boom.
and it's
What's
going
the
to be
ABV there?
It needs some water.
58.8.
It does need some water.
Thank you.
It does need some water.
Sure it does.
It's delicious.
So we've got another bottle down here.
We got a bunch of
Well,
bottles.
he just poured his batch one.
Well, he's way behind. He's not
I
gonna.
know,
I
right?
mean, it's already, we've been eating it almost.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
actually not way behind. I've had classes in between you guys doing this. You wankers.
So it's time for the big guns.
What?
All right.
I know a little bit about that stag. I figured it out. No, we're not drinking.
No, we're not
that.
doing that stuff.
We
One
don't do
giant
that,
leap?
but I know. See, if you've all
I didn't
had,
have to do it. I didn't have to see it.
have you all had this bottle? You see the story. You see, there's something going on here, kids.
Thought about it. We'll see.
There's a story, you know, like this king is like killing this deer, and it's just
That deer didn't want to do anything.
he didn't do anything wrong.
No,
That
man.
deer was out there for other purposes. Ron.
Yep. I
He was
agree.
looking for a date.
They were natural purposes.
Looking for a date.
And the king just came along and killed his ass.
For nothing.
Bad news. Bad.
Bad
All
Junior.
right, so that's our first 4. And I don't know if, I mean, it's been a long time, but I don't remember ever thinking that we would get to a 4 or that we would that quickly find a 4, I guess.
Because it was within the first like 3 months.
Yeah.
That's what scared me. That I felt like we gave it away too easily, but
But no.
dude, when it is, it
No.
is.
I will say there's a few reviews from the early days that I remember vividly. The Glenfiddich Solera, the 15.
Loved it.
And you were so sad because you really loved the 12 or the
So
14.
no wait, we had the 15. I loved
it a
it, and then we
coin?
had the 18, and I cried because it
Yeah.
was better than the 15.
Yeah, and you loved the 15. So you know, there's just along the way, you know, just trying new whiskeys, and you find stuff that you're like, oh, that was a really good one, or that one was, you know, not as good as we had hoped it was, and this one just kind of was like out of left field. I don't remember having any kind of. We had never done a Dalmore before.
So this is like,
So how did we start?
is
with
it
the King
250
outfit?
now? Is it going for 250?
It's over 3.
Because I got a deal on it at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
So let's talk about this for a second. And Tim, I'm actually curious to hear your results of this. But this is a special bottle because not only is it kind of expensive, but it was the first one that we ever really kind of got into, like the whole six casks thing.
Yeah.
Like, and we
There
tasted
was so
them
many
all.
finishing
the
casks.
complexity of it.
Yeah.
And this is not the first time we've gone back. Like I'm totally like.
I'm so excited to have a glass of this.
I'm
not
totally
gonna
no.
lie.
I know we're gonna like this
Yeah.
because this is not the first time we've gone back and said,
And I've
"Is
just
it
had
still gonna be that good?" It's gonna be good.
I just had Glen Scotia Victoriana and a Tamdu Batch 1, and I'm still excited about
Yes,
I'm telling you
It's
what.
gonna be
Before
good.
we get into this batch 1 neat is
It's phenomenal.
legit.
Phenomenal.
Okay.
really good.
Yeah. Well,
So
so
it's finishing casks.
so what they've done. I was reading this here. Whiskey's matured in ex-bourbon casks.
Madeira.
Madusalem Oloroso sherry wood, Madeira barrels, Marsala casks, port pipes, and Cabernet Sauvignon wine barriques are brought together in perfect harmony. Each cask has its own flavor notes. So it's not. It's like they take their distillate and they put them in 6 different casks, let them finish or age in those, and then they bring them back together.
Yeah.
And Miriam.
Yes, they don't. It doesn't hit. The whiskey doesn't hit each cask individually or together. It's married. It's blended. Yeah, I mean that's the.
Yep.
You know, when somebody tells you it's a single malt, that doesn't mean it's a single cask. You know, a single malt is from one distillery. There's like 6 different casks from the same distillery. They still blend them. They still blend those casks together to get the flavor profile they want. But it's a single malt whiskey.
I think it doesn't hurt that Dalmore's distillate is absolutely delicious. If you
So-
ever get a chance to have Dalmore just in like an old spent barrel and
From an
aged,
independent baller.
it is phenomenally good.
I have a bottle of SMWS Dalmore open right now that I've been hitting on the regular, and it's absolutely delicious.
Dalmore gets a lot of bad rap.
Well, because they normally bottle at 40%.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
And
know,
the
it's like
E150,
shit.
Well,
right?
the funny part is that all the haters out there, they're like, oh, well, they put it on all this stuff, and that they're covering up stuff, and it's kind of like a gunfighter that's like, I mean, I don't really need all these. I can just come out and beat your ass, you know, and like their distillate is that good. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
it's really good stuff.
Yeah, I'm disappointed they don't do more higher ABV, but this is a 40% ABV. That's the way they put it out, and
Did you pour that already?
I already poured it. I'm
did.
gonna let you guys
And-
catch up.
And it
I
takes
gotta
a minute.
calm down off this.
So
strong
this
ass Bambi.
bottle's been open for a while, so it takes a minute in your glass for it to open up to get the nose coming out of it. Because when you first pour it, it's still pretty tight.
What? Really? That's
What's that?
actually surprising to me that you've not had these. He's never had Victoriana, Tamdu Batch, or King.
So where are you located,
Wow.
man? It's high time you come to
Yeah,
Indiana.
you come to
brother.
the bar, we'll take care of you, man.
All you got to do is literally pull a real seat up to the bar, and it's there.
That's Dave. It's our patron.
That's Dave, dude.
No.
I cannot believe that. All right, let's give this coin away.
You know what sucks about this glass? I don't think.
I like how we have more peoples for this than the
we
batch
go.
one.
Just
Let's pick a
barely.
winner. Steven, perfect.
Stephen Hearn.
Stephen Hearn.
What were you giving away?
Congratulations.
Your coin?
He's giving my Maestro. This one right here. It's on top of my Tam Dukes. My Delmore 16.
It's too bad you didn't
There
win
we
the
go.
whiskey. I mean, that thing's not worth it. Hang on a second.
I don't like, next time we do a video, I'm going to make sure you're muted.
I know.
Somebody didn't charge your microphone.
Oh, it's weird. What happened?
Sorry
Yours
about
is
your
the only
luck.
one. You're just gonna have to talk louder.
I almost wrote Bunker Commander. It's
Holy
Maestro.
cow, man. Like,
Oh, wow.
so it's funny because the Tamdu comes out and punches you in the face, and it's just like overload of flavor. And this is so much more subtle and refined, and it's just a whole different style of whiskey.
Yeah,
They're both excellent whiskeys, but just in a different way.
After drinking that batch one, you have to take a couple sips of this to reorient your palate.
You do.
Yeah.
Lower
You do.
ABV, it's not as potent, it's not as punchy.
Very easy.
So you have to take a few sips to really
Subtle.
get it to get all the layers that come
But
through
it's
this.
all there.
It is. But the first nose and first sip, I'm like, I think the milk's gone bad. But then when you
No,
when
you
give
got to go
it
back
time-
to it. The first one I got, the first major note, apricots.
Oh, yeah.
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 See, I don't
Right?
remember that. from
Apricot
before.
and plum.
I remember the plums and the cherries and the
Wow.
yeah.
But what's interesting is I always
Oh, yeah,
I always
the finish finally kicks in.
I like to do I like to compare my scotch to candy. I don't know why, but gobstoppers. This is what kind of reminds me of it. It evolves and changes. Like
It's
in a
those
few
layers.
minutes, you're gonna have a different flavor in a minute.
It's those layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I got a 4 because it has for a 40% ABV whiskey, it has all this complexity.
It shouldn't. For 40 ABV, it should not have that, and it does.
But that's a good point to make. This is not your wheelhouse.
No,
And it was a 4.
That's
it,
correct.
It came in at a 4, and this is not your typical scotch that you would enjoy.
I like bold whiskey, bold sherries. I like peated whiskeys. High ABV. That's my wheelhouse. But this, when you give it time and you understand it, it just does things that most whiskey doesn't do.
They
And
did
again,
a really, really good job.
That's
That's
the
why I
beauty
got a
of-
4.
Yeah, that's the beauty of blending whiskey. I mean, it's not a blended scotch, but by taking all those different casks and putting them together based on the master blender's palate, it gives you things that a single malt that most single malts can't give you. It's not as interesting.
God, I wish it wasn't so
Oh my
expensive.
God!
What's that?
You know what's
Michael
funny?
Porter just texted on Discord, and he says he's got 100 meter left of this one giant leap. I've been saving for a long time. If you crack that one, I'll get into this.
You say
That
that-
a boy,
so
Michael
we'll
Porter.
talk
We've
about
been
that in a
at
second.
him for years to get this thing done.
Like almost every week, I'll say, "Hey, are we opening one giant leap tonight?"
Let's do it.
You know
Let's
what's
do
funny
it.
about
He's
this?
got a special thing for
It's
it.
maltier than I remember. Like, it's got all that other complexity,
What do
but
you
it's
think
got
about
a malty hit up front.
Yeah.
So we talked it up a lot.
Like very like orchard fruit forward.
Orchard fruit. Okay.
I definitely get the plum that you're talking about.
Uh huh.
It's just every sip a little something different.
Yep.
I get blueberries. I'm getting some chocolate. I mean, it's just this. I don't know how they do that.
And if you add some water to it, it's even better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ironically.
I get one sip and I want to concentrate on that, and then it's like, maybe it's
So,
it's more
But it changes a little. Yeah. I mean, isn't that crazy?
a little different.
so
I mean, like I said, I'm learning Scotch, love bourbon, but
Yeah.
this is exceptional.
So I keep a bottle of King Alexander on my bar at work now. We've gone through several.
Yeah.
And it just steady.
I think
I mean, I keep a lot of crazy shit on my bar at work, but I
That
do
moves?
keep a.
Does it move? Kill it if you.
Yeah, I've gone through a couple bottles.
I
Actually.
think it should be. I don't want to say reserved, but it's for the person that knows a little bit more about their palate and knows how to explore their palate and their nose. Because Number one, the price point. It's not now.
But I also, well, I don't beat people up anyway, but I think that this particular whiskey, like there's some whiskeys that we've had that I'm like, this is an exceptional whiskey, but you have to have the palate to appreciate it, right?
Sure.
I don't know that this one, that's the case, because it's got so much going on, and it's not a big, bold, cask strength kind of whiskey, but there's a lot of things going on, and every time you take a sip, you get something new and different out of it. And I think that kind of whiskey, even if you're a new whiskey drinker, you'd be like, oh, well, I didn't realize whiskey could be this way, And I think that this
that's
is
where I was going. In fact,
you know-
this is definitely something that takes someone to the next level.
Yeah.
But if they're with somebody that can walk them through it and be like, hey, hang it, just time out, slow down, let's talk about this whiskey, and go through those layers. I think you can educate somebody and take them to the next level of their journey with this whiskey. This is one of those big stepping
You're
moments.
saying this should be on the list for whiskeys we have at the whiskey dinner?
Sure.
It should be.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of whiskey dinners,
Let's
how
do
about
it.
that one that we did at my restaurant?
Which one? We've done a
one,
few.
yeah.
The one that we had the Barora.
Oh, so that was our,
That was our 6-year anniversary, was
was that
it?
6 or 7?
7, I think.
Hell,
No, it was 6.
It was
Six.
6. Yeah, because we did, how long have you been in the restaurant? How long has the restaurant been open?
Almost 4 years.
Okay.
But the upstairs wasn't open, so it was 3 years ago. So it would have been.
It was 6 years.
It was 6
Yep.
years, yeah. So at the 6-year reunion, we did, what was the story? Did we do pairings or did you?
We did a whole dinner and we
Yeah.
paired up. We each picked a bottle.
We
Yes,
each picked
we
a
each
bottle.
picked a bottle.
And the
you-
final
you
bottle
created
of the
food.
night was a Brora.
That
30.
was supposed to be.
No.
No,
That was
it
a
was the
Brora.
Brora. I don't
It
remember
was
how
a
old it was.
30. It was a 30-some-year-old bottle. That was delicious.
It was so amazing.
And,
We killed it.
I don't even remember what I paired it with. It didn't matter. It was going to be delicious no matter
think
what.
it
It
was-
was the
yeah, I
dessert.
think it was
Even-
dessert.
So
Because-
Porter was there. He's like,
So the key with that was, so this
Yeah.
is an old bottle of a dead distillery,
Yes.
and then you open this bottle and it has this brightness to it, this crisp, clean, just
Yep.
That you didn't expect.
no. I mean, it's like what? I mean, you think when you think of an old
can be old
30-year-old
and
whiskey, you're
dingy.
like, oh,
Musty
dirty,
or
musty,
something.
books, leather.
It came out swinging.
I mean, it,
So-
type
It
of
was
tannins,
it
no.
was perfect.
It was just
It was really
light and bright and flavorful and sweet and just. Oof.
So that reminds me of something that's interesting that we have been asked. Well, we've been asked lots of the same questions about what's your favorite, blah blah blah. One of the things that I think that has been the most interesting discussion in our 9 years, and I think that we can still to this day talk about is, can you taste, based on that conversation, can you taste age? Can you really taste age? And I think to some degree yes and no, because you can be fooled.
Yes, you
here's-
can be fooled.
Here's what I will say. I have had some old whiskeys that were like that Brora, that were really bright and
I would
spriteful
not,
and youthful tasting.
Yeah.
But if it's a peated whiskey,
Yes.
you can taste it.
Yes.
Because-
or did they just lightly peat it?
Because as it ages, so if they gave you a 30-year-old Lafroig, you're going to be able to tell it's a 30-year-old.
Yeah, because you're gonna get
Because the peat goes
Yes.
away as it
Well,
ages.
It
changes.
diminishes. It changes. It
Yeah, and-
works
and
into the
so it's-
whiskey.
It's not as young and punchy. As it ages. So, but I think that there's definitely some, if it's a non-peated whiskey, like I've had some old, Rosebank. I've had some old Rosebank that was delicious and tasted, young and beautiful. That Brora was excellent, and that was a 30-year-old bottle.
Totally.
So,
I think
Totally.
there's definitely some stuff like that.
I
Actually, that Imperial that
Yeah,
I
that's
brought
what it
over.
So
that was good.
Everwind was right. It was a creme brulee with the Brora.
I thought it was, but I wasn't
Yeah.
100%.
when it comes to aging, I think we've done enough of the challenges. All of us have, and we've sent enough of them the challenges, and that's probably the toughest question
It's
that
hard.
comes in the challenge, right?
Honestly,
rank
that's the
them
most
as aging.
humbling.
It really is, but I do think there are tells.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying in every aspect are you going to guess the age, but there are tells that you can give. One is what you just said with the peat. Yes, you can taste older peat. It's older peat than 10-year-old friggin' Lafroig, right? but you can get full. But for the most part, I think you get into a ballpark. But when you give us
Making a
3
big
whiskeys,
jump
it starts to get to a point that it's really a
It
bitch.
depends on where they age it. I mean, is it in a Dunnage house or is it in a warehouse? You know, in a,
Well,
in a
and
commercial-
what kind of
commercial
maturation
warehouse.
and what kind of finish it had, and was it peated or not
get
peated?
full
There's
really
so many
easily,
things,
yeah.
right?
This is
and
excellent.
you know what? To be honest with you guys, we'll talk about age for a hot second. Our first bottling, the chocolate malt, that was a pretty fucking young whiskey.
It was
boys.
young whiskey. What,
really
20,
is.
In Texas, so we can say,
can
Texas
argue.
what
age,
was it, 28?
but
28?
2.5 years.
it was like 32 months, I think. We've just gone through a sampling with Virginia Distilling Company. They sent us 4 or 5 whiskeys, and we sampled all of them blind, 2 times.
Twice.
We did it twice, blind twice, and some of them were 7, 8-year-old whiskeys. And the one that we ended up going with, guys, the youngest one.
Yeah.
Who knew, right? Don't judge whiskey on age as much as you do as flavor and profile, and that's hard to do when it's on a shelf. I get it, but at the same token, don't just dismiss a whiskey if it's young. Think about it. Think about where it is, where it's aged, what's in it, what's the components, what's the makeup of this whiskey.
Yeah, I think what makes this so good is their distillate is so good
Yes.
that it can be bottled.
They know what
and
they're
It can be
doing.
bottled young.
Honestly,
and it's still good.
if you ever find, any of you ever find a Deanston independent bottling that's just an old spent barrel, and you're like, I don't know, man.
Buy the
Like
shit out of it.
it's
Buy it.
15-year-old Deanston, but it's in like a spent bourbon barrel that's been used 3 or 4 times. Is this going to be any good? It'll
gonna
be
be
excellent.
epic.
I guarantee it.
gonna be epic.
It'll be one of the best whiskeys you've ever had in your life.
And they want $45 for it, and you're like, yeah, I'll take all of them.
They're amazing. You're
Those
just
are
not going
like
to find them
dreams.
very
Those
often.
are dreams.
You know what? Why don't we have a Deanston on this table? This bar does not have a Deanston on it yet.
Well, we got a couple of things on this table.
All right,
that a
well,
Deanston?
let's do this.
Oh!
So let's tell the story about One Giant Leap, and I'm not going to push it tonight because Drew has a very
I'm gonna push
distinctive purpose for this bottle. But One Giant Leap
You have a purpose?
was a whiskey that. So who put this together? I don't remember who the bottler
Drew
was.
Bills put it together.
No, we didn't.
It's
Whiskey Barrel.
Whiskey
Whiskey
Barrel,
Barrel did
yeah.
these. So they did a whole space series with One Giant Leap for Apollo.
Actually, we could have
11.
some of that Eagles
They had a
landed.
bunch of them. But
I would
this
definitely
one,
settle for
this is a
that.
Deanston, and
That's a good
Drew
one.
is a Deanston fanboy. And when this bottle
Really?
came out, we basically bought them out of these because they were
It's not the 20, but
so
it's close.
tasty. They're sweet. They're not they're not harsh, but it's just a really well put together bottle that was like a one-time release and it's gone. You'll never see it again. And we decided we bought a bunch, and Drew's holding that back for a special purpose.
well, I've been holding it back. I got a couple other bottles, so I've got quite a few bottles up here I can hold back. But this is One Giant Leap, and One Giant Leap is also kind of one giant leap into the future of 100,000 subscribers.
Oh,
It is.
damn.
Dude, I mean, not to downplay.
It's a big deal to me.
We did.
Are you going to open that?
He's gonna peel the foil.
Shut up.
Michael Porter, pour your shit.
Pour yourself,
Oh my gosh!
We need photographic evidence that you're opening your bottle
shit,
right
you
now.
finished this. King.
That just happened. That fucking just happened.
It just happened because whiskey is for sharing.
That's
You
why I
know
brought
what?
the Tamdu over.
Oh my gosh!
Look, Tim's like, give me a glass of
Tim's
that.
like, yes.
So,
you will not regret that.
because you want to.
yeah, rinse that out with that water or
did.
something. Let's talk
Rinse
about
it out,
let's
wipe
talk
it
about Deanston and Drew Bills and his love
I need to
of
shake this
this,
up.
right? So let's back it up. we go. We're into the journey. We're doing this. We're doing that. And I happened to go up to Vine and Table at the time. That was probably the best selection, just liquor store we had.
Okay.
And, at that time in Scotch for Dummies, we were buying whiskey out of our own wallets, and we were coming back to the bar and hey, this is what I got, this is what and I saw this bottle of Deanston 20, and it was $154.99, and I'm like, gosh, damn, that's salty as all get out, but man, I'll try it. And I come home and we end up getting into it. he like goes bonkers over it. He's like having childhood memories about burnt toast and freaking out, and it's freaking good. And ever since, Drew has just been, if it says Deanston on it, we're gonna try it. We're buying it, we're gonna try it, and we've had really good success.
Well-
Even with the Virgin Oak. It's not the
Virgin
best
Oak's
whiskey in the world, but it's a great whiskey to take out on a golf course or a freaking boat,
A
brother.
fishing
Oh.
trip, yeah. We've had some good experience with that.
Here's my Deanston memory. We had that kid that came over from Deanston. He was like the malt man.
Andrew, he's actually the he's a distiller now.
Yeah.
Andrew,
Shut the front door.
Yes.
He's distilling?
yes.
So this kid was over. He was in Chicago, I think, for like a summer. He was doing
No,
something.
He was doing marketing.
Yeah, and so the distillery had sent him over.
But he was a malt man first.
Yeah, but he was like a distillery guy. Like he operated.
He
you know,
shoveled the malt
Yeah.
out of the.
So he came down to like hang out with us, and we all got really drunk in my basement, like really, really drunk. But he got to try a bunch of good whiskey. He was a super good dude.
love these.
It was awesome. And we've got several stories like that. I can vividly remember Glenn Modan getting poured into a cab at 4 a.m. outside of my
Yes.
house.
Yeah, you guys hold it a lot better than I can.
Giant leap for Drew. I love it.
But I will say I've got about this much of a bottle of Deanston 20 left at the bar at my restaurant, and that's it.
And ever since Drew's just, I mean, he's the Deanston guy, right?
wait to
So
have some.
I told the story earlier about the Victoriana. I bought all those bottles of Victoriana, and I came home with this bottle of Deanston 30 for myself. And I got home and literally get home, walk in my door, and realize Drew's turning 50 in like 2 weeks. This Deanston 30 is not for me anymore. This is for Drew, because he's the Deanston man. He's turned 50.
I still have that much left of it. And
And
I
so-
took it to our 6-year.
Yeah,
Sure.
so I mean, I was like, yep, I bought this for me, but it's a
shit, is
Drew
that good.
birthday gift. And so, because Deanston's Deanston, right? That's Drew's money. So the fact that he had this bottle, we've gotten several different bottles from this series, right? I've got 1 or 2 of them at home.
61.6.
There were so many different names, one giant leap and one small step, and you know, it's
Eagle
this
has
and
landed
that.
is back
Eagle's
there.
landed. But we've been busting Drew's
You have
cojones
for a long time.
about this one every time.
Because I think it's the best of the lineup.
It probably, well, and because it's Deanston. And,
Well,
and
no, I
it's
just
Drew.
say it's real good.
But this is really,
I bought
really
one and
special,
drank it
Drew.
before.
I appreciate
Hold on,
it,
time
man.
out. This right here, this is one of my fondest memories as well.
See?
So going
See?
down to Austin and hanging out with Leanne and the Bastards Ball, and we get the keys to the vault. And I'm no dummy. I know exactly where I'm going. And Leanne's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You see that Deanston 20 up there? We're gonna kill that bottle." And she and I had about 3 glasses of that, and we were in heaven. It was so much fun.
Keys to
You
the vault.
killed it.
Yeah. It
You know
was
what's
Oh,
funny?
that's so good.
This is really good, and it comes at you.
Add
That
wa-
Deanston 20
No, add some water to it.
is a
You're not
I
a
will
Deanston
say-
20 fan. though.
So I will admit, I don't drink any of. I've never. Well, I've drunk some of it, but I
I don't
hold
wanna
off
order yet.
on drinking any of Drew's Deanston 20 because I don't like it like he does. And so for me, I'm not going to drink his favorite whiskey because for me, it's kind of a middle of the road whiskey, and it doesn't hit my flavor palate. This one, this Eagles Land, is in my view, is a much better Deanston because it's got more sherry, it's got much more sweetness to it, and that just makes the package.
that's so good.
because Drew, that burnt toast, it's kind of a drier, less sweet, kind of, I wouldn't say acrid, but it's a more bitter component of Deanston.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this, they sweeten it up with a little sherry, and it just it nails it.
This got dried cherries.
Oh.
Yes.
and
Dude,
like
there's a lot of whiskey
cinnamon
in there.
toast.
I forgot how good this was. I remember it was great, but I didn't remember.
There's a
It's
lot of
so
whiskey
good.
in there, dude.
Yes, you need water on this.
There's a lot of whiskey in there.
All right, I'll tell you what.
Oh my God.
We have had, how
Wanna
long
give
have we been
away-
on
give
the
away
air?
1
An
ounce of
hour
this?
and 40 minutes. We have had ridiculous whiskeys tonight.
Ridiculous.
What do we give
Unbelievable.
away? Oh yeah, we'll give it. All right, let's do it.
We'll do a 1 ounce pour of that.
Well, we got to give some more chocolate malt away too. I mean,
Let's
at the end of the day.
let's do a Patreon for this and chocolate malt for people
Yep.
There you go.
because
let's
patrons
do it.
already have chocolate malt.
Yep.
Can you,
They
you put our
should.
names back on the wheel though?
I got a garage door code from Drew's house.
Let me reset this.
Oh my God, this is a great class.
One giant leap.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Whoever wins this one is
I'll
getting
tell you
lucky.
what,
This is a really good
I
brand.
really loved it neat, and I didn't want to put water
No,
on it because
you
I didn't
can't
want
add
it
water.
to F it up.
So
But it doesn't
water.
matter.
It's
All right,
so
so
much better with water.
this is an
Good.
epic Patreon only thing. I hope that one of you guys gets to enjoy this. Here we go. One giant leap.
Leap it away, boys and girls.
Sean.
Harold,
Harold Lewis.
Harold,
Congratulations, sir.
I don't see you on the chat, but you're
winner,
lucky,
chicken
lucky.
dinner.
You just made out, buddy.
It's like winning the lottery and not even realize you bought a ticket, man.
Yeah.
Amen to that. I've been buying tickets like a motherfucker.
Oh,
Oh, who's that? Michael, it's good to see you,
So,
brother.
Michael, did you open yours?
He did.
Oh, how do you like it?
Michael, let me just tell you, I miss you.
Yes,
Yep.
you're a really, really, really good Scotch man, a whiskey person. You and Brian, we love you,
You
man.
good folks.
You've
Good
been
folks.
here for a long time, and
We don't see you
appreciate
enough.
you. I see Mark
so the
JG.
the problem is
Mark JG.
Sunday even Scotch's kids are getting to that age where they're
Night,
running all the
Leanne.
time.
Thank you. We love you.
Leanne, we do love
thanks
you.
for being here for us.
Scotch in the Bayou, baby.
Cheers to her.
Wow. So much
So
fun.
good. She's
Guys, we're
doing
having
so
such a good
good.
time
Who's
here.
the one that won that?
This is excellent, Drew. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Harold Lewis.
All right, let's get started on the next one. I'll start the raffle here.
I thought the Deanston or
pour it
the
yet?
the Ball Blair was going to be the,
So
the
this
pinnacle.
This is for the chocolate malt. So if you're still watching right now, make sure you hit the
I don't know where
The raffle?
the
the
samples
raffle
Where'd you have the
because
samples from?
this is
Put
for
them away.
a sample of our own bottle.
Oh, I'll give it 2 after that.
So,
Damn, that's good.
what about this bottle do we know? We know that it came from Andalusia down in Blanco, Texas.
Blanco.
I would like to say
Blanco.
No,
Blanco,
it's Blanco.
but it is Blanco.
You pronounce it Blanco.
I know it's Blanco, but it's so much more fun when
That-
this is Blanco.
I know.
That is some like white people pronunciation of a Hispanic word.
We had a good time. We
would
had a
think.
good experience.
I do think.
That is a good bottle.
It is.
Holy
Absolutely
delicious, dude.
delicious.
water.
A lot of good whiskey in there.
Oh.
So,
Little water on it.
Andalusia sent us samples.
It's delicious.
And we went through them, and unfortunately, the first round of samples just didn't make our minimum bar. We set a standard,
but-
guys, right? We set a standard. Everything, if we're going to bottle it, it has to be a standard 3 across the board.
Or-
we're all
or
going to
above.
rate it, or above.
It can't be just an
And-
average bottle.
The samples that they sent us first were like 2 5s. Damn it, that sucks. And so we told them, you know, this isn't hitting it. This is what we want. We gave them a flavor profile that we were looking for. And they sent us another round of samples. And as we read it, you know, went through those, one sample came through and we were like, fuck.
That's exactly
Literally,
what we said
like,
too. We went
this
through
isn't
and like,
the
are you
profile that we were
kidding
looking
me? And we
for.
all picked it. Every
But-
one of us picked
Yep.
it.
But shit.
And they sent us a sister cast too.
Yeah, I mean,
And it wasn't as good.
we're like, God.
It was good, but it wasn't as good.
We wanted this. You sent us this, and this is really effing good.
Yeah.
So we ended up going with it, and it was a process. Yeah, we had to do this, that, and it took time, and we're still in the midst of it. But we had the ability to make our own label. Drew put together a fucking cool label. I mean, it's
That one you mean?
Our-
Where's that? It's a bottle.
Our next bottle isn't going to quite have the. It's going to be cool.
no, it will be cool. Yeah, but with Andalusia, we went all in, and we were like, what the hell, man? We had to fight with the TTB, right? We had to go through that and get it
By the way,
approved.
if you don't have one of our bottles, you should get one because we snuck that one.
That, I
we snuck
cannot
the
believe
word.
we got in there. It was so
We
cool.
snuck the word Scotch in on a bottle of American single malt, but It was super cool, and then we were able to actually have an event down in Texas where our patrons, 6 of them made it, and we would have loved to seen all of our patrons make it. But I get it, travel and life is in the way.
I didn't get to make it.
Yeah, even Sean.
I really wanted to.
It was incredible, and we hadn't. The whole experience was awesome. I think there's maybe 10 bottles left for sale for patrons. But we're working. We're working on the next bottle. We're working not only on the next bottle, but the next bottle after that. We've got several bottles in the making, and they're all going to be different. Our goal is to expose you to the variety and the breadth of American single
Which is
malt.
vast.
And we're still learning. But we're also learning that there's definitely, I think as they do more of this and it evolves, I think there'll be regions for the United States just like there is for Scotland.
Absolutely, Sean.
And there's been some that were like, oh, this gets it. Like this is it captures kind of the essence of that area.
Read that.
And it's awesome. Everyone, Scotch for Dummies, as I told you during a stream, the chocolate malt is special and unique.
It went down.
What'd you do?
There it is.
Timed out.
Yeah,
I think it is so special you could build a small empire on that profile. It is uniquely American Scotch.
It is. It's a
It
very
is.
unique. Interestingly enough, Tim brought over a bottle today of it's a bourbon, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and it's a small place, but it's similar to what we bottled, which was really interesting.
Oh yeah.
But with
That's
corn.
exactly
But it was
why-
corn.
That's exactly why I bought it, because when we were in Michigan, you shared yours,
Right.
and I'm like, that's really good. And then
It reminded you of this bottle.
immediately,
Yeah.
when the finish on this bourbon was like, oh my God, this is very similar to what Scotch for Dummies were doing.
Yeah.
And I think there's a fine level between the chocolate and the coffee, but a coffee with like a sweet creamer.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've got to buy this and share it with Drew just to see what he thinks.
Yeah. It's good.
It's an interesting bourbon.
We'll have to try it. Cafe au lait.
It's not the quintessential bourbon. It's
not.
got a different finish to it.
Yeah.
Makes it different.
But I think we've Chris or everyone, I think your comment is awesome. It makes me feel good because I know you and I know your skill. I know your profile. I know your nose, and you are extremely skilled at we've thrown some challenges at you, so that makes me feel good. And the goal is to continue to do that amongst the American single malt profile. You know what I mean? We're just getting started. I mean, the first one, I love the feedback we're getting. The next one's going to be completely different.
Let me tell you,
It's going to be completely different.
we were pleasantly surprised with the tasting of the first bottle we did. We all were like surprised, and we went with it. It was great. This next bottle, when we got our samples, all of them were delicious.
Yep.
And we were like so excited about what we're getting. So I'm super stoked
get
about
there,
the next
buddy.
bottle for you guys. Eat it. I'm still drinking this.
Look at this. I'm not gonna.
Don't
what
hurry.
the heck? We're going.
Don't hurry. Don't
The
hurry.
Battle of the Peats is coming up.
Octomore. Oh my God.
Don't hurry. Don't hurry.
2.
Don't
My
hurry.
liver.
I can't get it out of the damn box.
My liver.
Your liver. Got plenty
Mark
of
is
liver.
drilling on his mic. It's funny.
So did we draw for the?
We have it. Let's draw some chocolate malt.
Bob H.
All right, so let's get a winner of this chocolate malt.
17
Heck yeah.
tickets sold.
All right, your odds are good.
Pick a winner.
Pretty good odds.
And
Joe.
Joe Combs.
Nice.
Joe comes the second.
What was it?
There you go.
So Joe Combs sent that. So Joe, go to
I like how I just repeat this. Something great.
Scotch
Whatever that was.
at gmail.com and send us your delivery information, and we'll get that sample, 2-ounce sample of the Andalusia chocolate malt out to you.
This is peated. You're a bourbon guy. Do I really want to waste good peated
Oh, you need the
whiskey?
wheelbarrow to get home tonight.
Yeah, you're
Or
right.
the wagon.
Is there such a thing?
Here's the deal.
There it is.
Only one of us has ever needed the wagon to get home. I'm not going to say who it is.
Was it me?
It was.
Yeah.
It was because Sean made freaking 4th of July Jello shots that had like 3,000 ABV. That's bullshit. I know there's a picture of me eating like a plate of it like this, but that's not my fault. It's Sean's.
I make good Jello shots.
They were fucking good.
Or Jello pie plates.
It was a Jello pie plate for me.
It was.
It was a lot of booze, man.
Yeah, that was a bad night.
We've all had the bad nights.
I've had more than others.
I don't know, man. There's been some fishing incidents
Tim, it's fun.
over the years.
Justin says pushing you off the 425 over there. You
Oh
got,
my
you got
gosh,
glass.
All right.
the nose on that. Woo!
You have a
So-
glass
I
of
can
that?
smell it over here.
So we have had some ridiculous whiskeys tonight. Does anybody have a favorite?
This.
I think that One Giant Leap. It's a 10-year-old
The Tamdu is
Beast,
really
and
good,
it's
too.
just so well done.
The Tamdu was excellent. Honestly, the King Alexander was delicious.
It was, but I would argue.
But I
in my
like a
current
little higher
wheelhouse.
ABV.
Yeah.
But that one was excellent. If I had to pour something for somebody that was new to whiskey that I just needed to blow their mind, that would be the glass I would go to every time.
Which one?
The King
Alexander.
Alexander.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with
But
you.
this One Giant Leap with a little splash of water is delicious.
So good. It really brought the ABV down. Yeah.
It's.
Now we're gonna
favorite
get
is
into
tough.
peated, and we'll see what's
Favorite's
going
tough.
You're going peated. I mean, that's different. That's a
No,
whole
no, no,
different
and we'll stop the line. We'll draw the line right there. Favorite to there, right? It's fucking tough, guys, because the Ballbladder 90 is really good.
That one was an excellent
Ball-
starter, man.
I mean, the batch one. I haven't had batch one in freaking
It was
6
delicious.
years. It was freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Everyone
It's
thinks we need to
hard.
drink a glass of water.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I've been drinking.
You're not wrong, buddy. Here's the deal. Quick aside.
Nah,
I'm
not doing that. Come
I brought
on.
a bunch of bottles from my bar. And I brought this special one because I knew Mark would drink it. And I'm trying to get it gone
did.
off my bar. The Ron DeJeremy rum. If you've never had it, it is not exceptional.
If you've never had it, don't bother.
Yeah, it's not great. But I did get Mark to have a glass, so there you go.
I did.
You know, it warmed you up. Wetted your whistle.
It grew some back hair.
Well, guys, we have 10 minutes left.
All right,
on our live stream,
we
so-
need to give some stuff
All right,
away. We
I
need to
gotta
give some stuff
try
away,
this
boys.
Lefroy. We got 2 peated whiskeys to try in 10 minutes.
I know.
Jesus.
So let's give some stuff away too.
What do we have? Oh, old school.
Extra large Scotch Redumbs t-shirt.
It's
$4
a big one.
Scotch.
What's up with that?
I gotta change up my
She's had
hat.
some damage. She's got a
Oh, shit,
hole in
maybe
it.
that's what. Maybe we should
A little
go.
moth in that
I'm
one?
not giving that away. It's got a
No,
hole
never
in
mind. It's already. It's.
Andrew's using it to wash his car. What the hell are you doing?
A hole in the shirt in that
Take
one.
that one as a compliment.
There you go. Give it to Tim.
Man, as soon as I open this cork,
Yeah, it's like it's gonna show your.
Hello, lover.
What happened there?
I'm trying to show a nipple. Get out of here with that dirty shit, man.
All right.
This is a clean show.
while we're
Hey, we don't. This is a freaking adult. I mean,
Wheels are off, folks.
here's the deal. Let's talk about peated whiskeys and the first time we had one and how disappointed we were.
oh Christ Almighty.
Ugadale?
So back in the
Yeah.
day, like I said, we were all buying our scotch on our own wallet and just bringing it to the bar at Sean's house on Thursday nights. Like, hey, whatever you guys went out fishing for and came home with, this is what we're gonna, eat tonight. And I came to Sean's bar with a bottle of Ardbeg Ugadale, and I was
You were
like,
very proud.
I was like, oh my God, boys, look what the fuck I got, and I'm like, and we're all like.
Expensive
We
bottle.
were all like staring at it, like, what
We're
is
like,
this?
okay, it
What
was an
is this?
expensive bottle. It was a big pull for
Right.
us.
And we take the thing out and we went like this, and we were like,
We
oh,
can immediately
Jesus
smell
Christ.
That's too
Oh my
strong.
God.
That's too strong.
People drink this, right? And we didn't drink it. I was reading the comment.
I know.
I was
You
reading.
get
I'm
a
reading this
brain
co-
lapse right there.
I'm reading the comment, like so. Anyway, Ardbeg Ugadale goes kind of unnoticed for I don't know a while. It was
Several
a couple
months.
It was a while. We
was-
tried it
was-
and we were super like sad.
and we were like, I
too
don't
much.
know.
We
This
didn't
is
think we
like,
were ever gonna
Jesus
finish it. It was just
Christ,
gonna sit on my
who
bar
drinks
forever.
That shit, right? And then we end up going on a little boys fishing trip for the weekend.
The old Wren Lake fishing
The old
trip.
Wren Lake fishing trip.
On
We
point.
got the
Fire-
pencil in.
Fire pit on the point.
and we have a good time.
Can I give an aside here in the middle of the story? So Mark and I stayed up. These two went to bed.
It's going.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I
where the
don't
story's
stay up late.
going.
Yeah, I don't
We had cigars, and then we tried this Ugadale that we brought along. I don't even know why we brought it along, because we weren't planning on drinking any of this ever again. We
But
were
we
off the
just
peak.
we passed it like this,
Yeah.
brother.
Now, I think it probably had something to do with the fact that we were really drunk, right? And it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're drinking and smoking cigars, and we
and
tried
sitting by
this,
a fire
and we're
pit.
like, we had, it was a revelation, because we're like, oh, well, the cigars let us get by the peat, and we got to all of the other flavors underneath, and we're like, this is an excellent whiskey. So Mark and I continued to drink for
Like this.
several more hours. And we ended up going to bed about, I don't know, 6. Let's call it 6.
That's good.
This is kind of a reenactment here. I mean, it's not far. You see a fire pit here.
That is good.
You ready to go to
It's
bed?
delicious.
So
I'm ready to go to bed. Let's go. Let's go.
So we,
let these guys talk.
we wake them up in the morning. And,
No, they come stumbling out. We didn't wake
Yeah.
them up. We were still sitting at the fire, brother.
we were still kind of half drunk. Mostly drunk.
half drunk.
And we're like, hey, you guys have to try this. This is delicious. You're not going to believe what this is. And that was how we all discovered Pete.
They
It was
cooked
amazing.
breakfast. I got a 30-minute nap, and then we got up
We were
and
good to
went out
go.
for the
We
day.
went and caught some fish.
That's what happened.
It's a true story.
We really did sleep for like an hour.
True story.
Walked into my tent and was like, I need to do this.
I just remember. It took about 2 hours for them to kind of get going.
Yeah, he was not doing well.
No.
But we
first
did
few
get
hours.
back up.
You did, yeah.
Although you
Strong
took a
like
nap.
bull.
I did take it. I took a
nap
nap.
later.
I was like,
All right, boys,
We're on
we are
vacation.
way off topic, and wheels are majorly off here. But
Yeah,
it's been
story.
a celebration. We've had some really good whiskeys with y'all. Did you say you want to give one more giveaway?
Yeah.
what are we giving
What are we
away?
doing?
I don't care. We can give away a Lefroy 25. We can give away a Ball Blair 90. We can give away a Ron to Jeremy.
No one wants the Ron.
Unless you want to take the Ron to Jeremy and like put it as a consolation prize.
No, I was saying give away the whole bottle of Ron to Jeremy.
bad idea.
Oh yeah, that's fine. It doesn't need to go back to my house.
All right, let's do one more
not a bad
giveaway, and we'll do a bottle of Lefroy 25-year-old,
All right,
which
one or
is
two
epic.
ounce. What do you want?
Yeah, it's legit.
Epic.
ounce?
Honestly, it's a little more. So going back to our original topic of can you taste age?
Well,
This is a little more Lafroigy than I
It's a
thought it was
little
going
more
to be.
rougher than you would think
Yeah.
for a 25. I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
And I think, hang on, I think because this is not finished in a sherry, or I think when you get into your older peats, especially with sherry, it definitely tames down that. This is not. This is all ex-bourbon.
Well,
It's delicious,
It's
though.
interesting though when you do. So we've talked a lot about tonight actually about a lot of different things, but blind challenges is the humblingest experience you can ever do when you think you know about Scotch. But I will say this: when you put a Lefroy in the lineup, I can almost always pull it
Yes.
because it has that distinct medicinal. Any other Scotch out there?
When you put 3 Ardbegs in the lineup, though.
Oh, now you're screwed.
Yeah, sure, sure.
But no, you're
Lefroy
absolutely
is
right.
a very, very well-known palate, and
I
I
think-
think it's easy to come out.
I feel that way about a few different scotches. Lefroy is definitely one. Ardbeg is another. I always get peanut on Ardbeg. You know, the irony is, before COVID, you couldn't pour a Macallan that I wouldn't.
No, you had an issue with the tire.
Macallan before COVID, I was very sensitive to
Thank you.
sulfur before I got COVID. I nailed Macallan every time, and then I got COVID, lost my sense of smell and taste for 5 months, and now
So is it still?
no, it's not nearly as prevalent. You guys, we started with Macallan tonight, and it's enjoyable. I love it. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it and love it then, but
Maybe
there
it's
was
used to
always a note that I knew, and I don't get that note anymore. Sulfur
It's
is
still
not
there
there
for
anymore.
me. I mean,
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah, I can usually pick a Macallan.
I mean, for
I can pick a
2
Lefroy,
or
I
3
can pick an
years, you
Ardbeg.
guys used to make fun of me. You're like, Jesus, we don't smell sulfur, but you do. And I'm like, hell yeah, I got sulfur, and now
Macallan actually, I think was off-putting for you for a while.
You know what we didn't
Yeah,
have
it was.
tonight was a Springbank.
we could do that.
We didn't have any funk.
We've had enough.
We
We're good.
want the funk. I haven't even pulled out this.
I don't know,
Aquamar.
I know a Canadian that sent us one of these that's really effing good.
We can do an after show with that one, but
We can
let's
do
get
it.
this raffle
All right.
going.
Lefroy,
We've
25.
got plenty. Oh, we got a lot
You
of
guys
people.
ready?
Let's do this. Let's pick a
Green
winner.
label
Got a lot of people on.
coming up.
Lefroy 25. I stole it from
Who wants
Costco.
one?
Oh, I can't pick yet.
Might as well try
Is it
it.
not giving up
try
yet?
it?
Oh, we still got 2 more minutes.
Yeah.
This one's
All
got
right.
a little bit of
I'll close entries and
a
we can-
harder
Here we go.
Lefroy flavor than you would
Ready?
expect
we go.
because it's not finished.
Wow.
Chad
Chad
Anderson.
Anderson.
Perfect.
I love it.
Speaking of the Canadians,
Speaking of the Canadian,
Mr.
is,
Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Well-
Which, by the way, he does have a bottle of the chocolate
he does.
malt
He
in
got it.
hand.
God love him.
Got it.
I will say, when we started this channel, I never
he
thought
made
we'd
one
hit
of those.
100,000. That wasn't ever a goal,
Never.
but it's awesome that we made it there.
And we owe it to everybody out there in virtual land, all of you that are watching right now, and probably 99,960 others.
Don't make you do the math, man.
Right? We've always said math is hard, but we have come a long way.
We have.
Guys,
We have.
And we appreciate you.
It's
Thank you.
been a fun ride, and we still have a long way to go. We're having fun. We have fun because of you. We have fun because you are a part of our family. You're a part of our community.
It's a journey.
It is. And
Four
we're still
guys on
learning.
a Scotch journey. That's what we're doing.
1, 2, 3.
You know, on that note,
Super weird.
thank you so much for tonight, hanging with us tonight. Tim, thanks for coming over with us tonight.
Did you do the draw for this?
We already did. Yep, we're good.
All right.
And we'll see you guys on the next 100,000 subscribers.
Hell yeah.
Believe that.
We love you
Cheers.
all. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Love you guys and gals. And every-
3, 2, 1.